Well, good morning. We're just getting away from the government dock. We'll be headed out maybe as far as 7 and 8 to look up with the John Marshall and her tow and assist them down into the government dock.
Good morning, everyone. Still over here setting up. Cool Cat, Mad Props, Russell Garum, TJ Giggles. Yeah, welcome, everybody. I don't know if Johnny Drone Flyer is still on or not, but he was on, and that's where Captain Joe was. So if anybody like to join the panel and come on here with me, there's the link is at the top of the chat. Just click on that, and you're here. The as you can see, the weather is just kind of yucky. I've got a ship that's downbound, but it's about 30, 40 miles out, doing 10 knots. The Arthur M. Anderson. Doing 11.8 knots, but it's still out quite a ways. It's let me see, how far is it? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles out, downbound. There's a tanker that's upbound, but it's headed for Sarnia, which is south of Sarnia. Wants to go into what they call Chemical Valley over there. That's where all the refineries are. The Lee Atragertha is just entering the lower end of the St. Clair River at Lake St. Clair. So anyway, the weather has not been too cooperative for flying. A lot of people down here fishing. You're a goofball. Yes, you are. You're a goof. You didn't eat your breakfast, did you? No. Right back, gang. Oh, sorry about that. She gets a little bit antsy when I'm not paying attention directly to her, you know? And it is what it is. She's my everything. Good morning, Waypoint. Here comes Mr. White. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Paul.
How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you very much. And you?
Well, it's just a nasty little, it's been raining on and off all night. Just kind of a dreary day. Not a lot of wind, I could fly, but it's just not the kind of weather you'd like to see.
No, I suppose.
Especially on a weekend. I'll tell you what, Detroit's probably really pissed off. Today is the Detroit Grand Prix, downtown Detroit.
All right.
I think it's supposed to start at 12:30, the race. Don't know if it's going to or not. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, they'll still race in rain.
Hey, Michael, how's it going, Mr. Cool Cat?
Is that the car Grand Prix?
Yes, it's
Is it Formula One or NASCAR?
Formula One Grand Prix. Yep.
Or yeah, as long as it's not too raining.
You know,
If it's just a wet track, they'll still race with wet tires. They'll be a little bit slower than normal, but that's all. Hi, Brian. Edward. Well, it's a nice sunny day here. Temperatures still aren't exactly high, but and it feels a bit breezy. We got 11 miles gusting to 23 and 17 degrees. You've not been out flying yet today, have you?
no, I flew yesterday, but not today. Simply because the weather is just yucky, but there also hasn't been any ships or anything, so I
Yeah, that
guess
doesn't
it's a
help.
trade-off.
Yeah. I guess Joe will still be over on Johnny's channel if he's not finished yet.
That's what I'm thinking.
They'll be coming over in a bit.
Here's a little look at the past Grand Prix, Detroit Grand Prix. share.
Oh, Edward says it's not Formula One, it's Indy. Think the Indy cars use the same cars as Formula One, or the same style of cars as Formula One, don't they?
Yeah, I think that the difference between Formula One and Indy cars, I think, is the fact that they're open wheeled and not open wheel, you know?
Mm. I take it that doesn't start until the afternoon over there then.
There goes a tug out.
Mm.
Where's it headed? Let me see. Doesn't say where it's headed. It's headed up the lake someplace.
Uh-huh.
The name of that tug is Dilly Dally. Let's not dilly or dally. Let's get her done. Yeah, the downbound ship is still 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 miles out, headed downbound.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what's new with anybody? Anybody buy any new drones or have any reports on drones? I know that Joe had mentioned that he was accosted while he was drone flying out by the lighthouse by three guys, and when they took off, there was no plate on the truck or anything, and He was carrying it, and I think that he did, when they got too close to him, the one got around behind him, he turned around, and looked him right in the eye and says, "Don't make me pull this out." And they all split. I gotta pitch some more peanuts. Be right back.
Okay.
They're out there knocking on my window for crying.
Be quiet.
What's up, Mark?
Hi, Joe.
Hey, where's Paul?
Just throwing
Pitching
some peanuts.
peanuts? Yeah, biggest pitch of peanuts.
The I don't know how they know, Joe, but it doesn't take long when I'm pitching peanuts for they're climbing down every tree, crossing every road, every valley. They're
Well, they
coming.
hit a door. They probably hit a door.
Yeah. Now I send a little signal. This is what I do. Right, Mia?
Yeah, I was on Johnny's for a few minutes. I was actually for 30 minutes trying to get on his show this morning.
Really?
He was telling me it wouldn't let me on. It said it couldn't be reached, and everything. So I was just listening to him, and then Justin was telling me about his arrest last night and what he dealt with. And I was listening to that, so I couldn't get on. And then finally, all of a sudden, it pops up and says, "Would you like to join with this?" I said, "Look at this crap." And this was after 40 minutes of sitting there. So I jumped on, and we wound up being on because he got on early this morning.
Yes, you did.
And then we were still on for about another 30 minutes. I was telling him the raccoon story. They were laughing about it.
Yeah, them raccoons were gonna attack your ass. You were more
Yeah.
afraid of the raccoons than you were of them three characters at the lighthouse.
Yeah, those three characters at the lighthouse I wasn't worried about. The one that kept getting behind me, though, boy, I tell you what.
Well, when you
When-
showed
when
him
he
the
got
butt of
behind-
your gun, he figured it out, right?
Yeah, when he kept coming around the back, it was like, this is it. Bottom line, I'm not in the mood.
That was right after being accosted by the raccoons, wasn't it?
Yeah. What I showed him was he didn't see the butt of my gun. He saw the butt of my wallet.
Oh.
Didn't have the gun.
Oh, you didn't have the gun on you?
No, I didn't have the gun. But he could see that sitting there, And he said, "What, you got a gun on or something?" I said, "Yeah, look." And I went like that. I pulled back, and you can see where the wallet was sitting up. I said, "You need me to show it to you?" Like that. And the other guy said, "Come on, man, come over here before we leave you here like that." but the one guy kept trying to get me to hey, let me fly that drone, man. I said, I can't let you fly it. I said, it's considered an aircraft. I told him it was considered an aircraft to the FAA number on it. You have to have a license. That's how I told it to him. You know. But the worst part about it is you can't. They got a picture. The Madisonville police have a picture of the car, but they ain't got a picture of one of the guys. But there was no license plate on the car.
Yeah.
And I looked up in the back, and there was no temporary tag either. And that's another thing going on here in Louisiana. Temporary tags. People are putting fake temporary tags on their car.
Really?
They got a big investigation on Fox 8 about it here. The Channel 8 News here. And they said they went out and over a 2-week period, they took the license plates off of, I think, 8,000 cars. And out of the 8,000 cars, there were, I think, 1,000 of them that had the same license plate, same temporary license plate. And it's a company, it's a company in Texas and a company in Florida that are selling Louisiana temporary tags that they're tracing them back to. And it's the same license plates. And they're putting Louisiana businesses, you know, in there to that no longer exist. And these plates are all bogus. What are you showing us? What's up?
I'm trying to show you that goofy Mia by the back door.
Oh, she's by the back
You
door?
see her?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
She laid down now.
Yeah, she's over there
She
watching
was standing up,
squirrels?
huffing and puffing, and
Is that because of the squirrels or?
no, it's because she wants attention. It's every time I get on the computer. It's like you and your dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how they know, but they know, you know?
Well, I got Loki on the side over here laying. I got Cleo back here laying. And Tino, I don't know if he's at the front door or he's over on his chair. I can't tell. But he's been laying down here by the gate. Last night when I went to go to bed, I got up and Loki was sitting up on the sofa watching me. And when I got up, he and Cleo were laying on the floor face to face, sitting up, and it looked like they were talking to each other. That's what it looked like. They were conspiring. I said, "What are y'all trying to what are y'all trying to get from it?"
Comparing
They just
notes.
kind of both looked at me like. But it was like a married couple, the way they were kind of cornered to each other, where their faces were right next to each other. It looked like they were talking.
Nothing
Like I
would
said,
surprise me.
Yeah, that's her man and his bitch. That's what it is. That's a couple. Those two dogs.
Yep.
Because I know I've seen it before where they had two dogs that were like a couple, and that's them. Because he'll be playing with Loki, and they'll be jumping, and if they start getting a little out of hand, she comes in here and runs Loki. Like she thinks Loki's hurting him. You know, she'll go after Loki. And I gotta say, you come over here. They're just playing. Leave them alone. But she's very defensive towards Tina. We got rain coming through again today.
Yeah, that's what we got too.
And Justin had to deal with another DWI last night.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, the girl wrecked a car, left the girl in the front seat that was sleeping. And then they got a description of her, had a name, who she was. And he was down by the bar, and because the car was down the street wrecked. And the girl got out the car and left the car. and they gave him the description, and the girl's walking towards him. So he wound up taking her back to the car. And he said that went on for a long time. But she wound up, she tried to run from him. So she got a resisting arrest, you know.
Mhm.
Then she had a warrant for theft in St. Tammany, or I think it was St. Tammany. So she got the charge for that warrant too, got pulled on that warrant.
What was he shoplifting?
Yeah, so it was 2 or 3 things that happened with her. And then the mom called the police station, bitching and moaning, and what did you have any reason to arrest my daughter for, and all this and all this, and threatened them their job. And Justin said, "You do realize now we got your name, we got you on the tape line. We could put out a warrant for you because you just had public intimidation to us, which is a felony offense." And the woman hung up the phone. And he turned, he said, "Wasn't the tape line, I just said that to him." I said, "I'd go after her." He said they could because all of them heard it, you know. But you do not, in the state of Louisiana, tell a cop, I'll have your job. That's public intimidation, and that's a felony.
That was the mother?
That was a mom. Yep. And the girl wound up the girl didn't fight them. He resisted them by running, and then got to the jail, and the other girl started fighting them at the jail, and they had to get her out the way. So then the new girl goes, the one that Justin had, went in, and she started fighting with him. So he said, "Can I go? I'm out of here." But you see, it's the same places up there every week that have the same people come out that have been drinking. Not the same people, but other people. And it's the same bars that is happening at. The DA is smart. He shut them down because they could do that, because they're feeding them too much alcohol, and these people are coming out drunk. And and there's a law in Louisiana where the bartender is responsible.
Well, the other thing they could do too, Joe, is the police department could declare it a public nuisance area.
Yeah.
And they could take and put the police tape up at the doors and everything, say nobody in, nobody out.
Yep. We had years ago when I was working EMS, Brett, he was a sheriff in St. Bernard Parish, and we had to go down every once in a while and have a unit sitting near a bar because they got pretty drunk down there, and every once in a while they needed a unit. So that was one of our posts. So we just sat down there, and Brett wound up working EMS with us later in life, and this guy was a trip. He was the guy at the door because you couldn't take your drink out in a can or a bottle, but they'd give you a to-go cup, right?
Yep.
And Brett would have a stack of to-go cups up there, and he would the police officer now, he would hand them the to-go cups to fill them up when they were leaving. But what Brett would do beforehand, and nobody knew this, he'd take his little buck knife out and he put a little pinhole in the bottom of the cup. And then he'd go through all the cups and put pinholes in the bottom of the cup. So every cup had a hole in it. So one girl came out one day and she was feeling it real good. She had a brand new beer. He said, "You got to have a cup." She poured it in the cup. She goes, "Hey, there's something wrong with it. It's leaking. It's got a hole or something. Let me get another one." She got another one. She poured it in there and said, "This one's leaking too." By the time she finished, she had no beer. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. It must be bad cups." But he'd do that to everybody as they came out. And they wound up pouring their beer out on the street, or their drinks out on the street. It happened to everybody that came out. But he said, "Every time I come here, I'm going to do the same thing. I don't want them out there drinking." So it got to be the point where they would drink their stuff inside and come out with nothing, you know, because they knew better. But he didn't care. He did not care. Brett Schneider. Yeah, good guy.
So what it was is they didn't want anybody taking anything glass outside.
Yeah, you couldn't take a can or glass out. They didn't want you in the street because they didn't want you throwing beer cans or nothing out there.
With any kind of an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, but they give you the to-go cup, which was a plastic cup, so you could have it in a plastic cup, but you couldn't have it in the original can. None of the original bottles or cans or anything you could bring it out in. That the city had an ordinance with that.
I'm sure.
So-
I'm sure if the police chief went through all the ordinances, he could find several ways to either
Oh,
close the place down, or go in and on site arrest the bartenders for not doing what they're supposed to do.
well, yeah, the bartenders are the one.
Yep.
See, Justin was a bartender at one point in time, and so was my daughter. And they had to look at people and decide whether to give them another drink. You know, where they worked at. And they wouldn't give them another drink. No, you have enough. They tell them, you've had enough.
Yeah,
Or they come up.
right outright. They should tell the customers, you if you're drinking, we have the final say whether you're going to get a drink or not.
Oh, they knew that. They knew that. There was actually a sign in walk-ons. It said that if you are deemed to be intoxicated, you will not be served a drink. You know. That's why I used to go there. I used to go there, and I'd get there in the morning when there's football games to watch. I'd go watch all the games on Sunday over there. And I'd go sit at the end of the bar, and I'd get there first thing in the morning, right before they open up and they let me in, since I had kids working there. And I'd go sit at my spot on the bar, and I'd order like the buffalo wings, or I'd order like a sandwich, and get the hamburger or something come out, and then I'd order a pitcher of beer, but I'd tell her I only wanted it in 4 glasses, because 4 glasses made a pitcher of beer. So she'd bring me the glass of beer, 16 ounce, and I'd drink it, take my time. And then when I'd be ready for my next one, I'd say, okay, I'll take the next one. And I'd drink my 4 over about a 5-hour period of watching 2 football games. And I'd eat a couple of times, or I'd eat at least one time, you know, a good meal. So when I was leaving, I didn't feel any different than when I got there. I spaced it all out. And I'd leave there spending maybe $10, you know, $15 max. And we had one girl, she was from Russia, Dasha. She looked at me one day and she goes, "Mr. Joe, you're here all the time. You must be rich." Like that. And my daughter looked over at me. She knew what I was going to do. I said, "Yeah, a little bit." Like that. And she goes, "Well, what do you do? I know you take pictures." I said, "No, I didn't make money with the pictures." I said, "I have a patent that I invented something. So that's where I got all my money from." And she goes, "What did you invent?" I said, "Well, you know a paperclip, right?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I didn't invent the paperclip." I said, "But if you look at the paperclip and it's got the little ridges on it, I put the ridges on it, it holds the paper better. So I put a new patent in and got a new patent on it, and that's my invention." "Oh, really? Well, that is so cool." So this went on, and my daughter's like dying in the background. And then a little while later, she says, "Oh, that is so cool, like this." And my daughter had a paperclip like that and handed it to me. So I said, "Yeah, it's one like this. I carry it with me to show people." So this girl went on for about an hour and a half thinking that that was the truth. And I finally told her I lied to her. But she had other girls believing it too. My daughter, well, the only reason I had to tell her is because my daughter was laughing so hard. You know, it was like, she said, "Boy, did she believe that?" I said, "Yeah, she did." And there's one girl, Dasha, when she would walk up, there would be 3 other girls standing there. when she would walk up and get within a foot of me, I knew she was there because of her body heat. The heat coming off her body, I'd feel the heat just radiate and hit me. And I said, Dash is here. And I wouldn't even be looking. But it was crazy. She leaned against me one day when she was getting some Bloody Marys or something off the counter. I had to reach over and get everything. And I said, do me a favor, push over a little bit. I said, I don't mind you leaning on me. I said, but I'm gonna start sweating in a minute. I don't know what was going on with her system. But she wasn't running 98.6. She was running about 103. And she was hot too, so that was the other thing. So it might have just been just because that was the heat, you know. I enjoy those times going there on those days. And when my son and my daughter left there, I stopped going. I was only going because I get to see them.
Yeah. You go in the bars in the city centre here and you're lucky if you'll get 2 drinks for 10.
Yeah. The other cool thing about going there was I'd be sitting there and sometimes I'd order something, and a lot of the parents from Mandeville would be there, you know, that I shoot pictures for. And then later on that day, I'd go to pay my daughter, and she goes, "Oh, the bill was paid." I said, "Who paid it?" One of the parents.
Mm.
That happened a lot, where they'd come up to me and say, "Hey, Joe, how you doing?" And then they pay for my meal.
Well, that's
Oh,
nice.
there was a lot of days like that I'd look up and the bill was paid. But I don't even think, I think only one person that was there when my daughter still works there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to go there if she's working there. She's like, God darn it. The way she's been posting pictures on Instagram, I don't want to see her anymore. Because I wouldn't, I'd be in trouble. Because I'd have to say something stupid to her. My son actually showed me a picture a couple months ago. Said, "Have you seen Bree's pictures on what you call it?" And showed it to me. I said, "Lord help me." She's got really stingy wearing her clothing. Let's put it that way. A lot of stuff's got a lot of revealing parts. And she's a beautiful girl. Oh, she's beautiful. And she was telling, this is 2 months ago, she was telling Justin that she don't have a boyfriend. She must be particular. Shoot, I might want to get that money and wind up being a sugar daddy. You never know. They got a drone on the market. It came out. It's called a Hover Air X1. I've seen these things when they first came out a couple years ago that were like $50. I think they're like $50. These things
Yeah,
are now on YouTube and they're 400 and something dollars. The
Donald
same thing.
Yeah, Donald put something on Facebook. I think it was yesterday or the day before, saying that they'd sent him one, but they wanted him to do certain things and whatever. And he said, "No," he said, "if I do a review on it, it's what I think, not what you tell
Right.
me." And they still sent it in.
Well, Ken Herron's got one on there, and it says, the worst drone I've ever loved, like that. And it says, and he's giving it away. I
Mm,
need to find out how to win it. You know, it
it
says
looked
how
like
to win it. I'm gonna try to put whatever it is in to try to win it. But
it
I would
looked like
never pay $400 for this.
yeah, it looked like one of these camera drones where they fold in half.
It folds in half,
Yeah,
and I don't even think there's a remote for it. I think you launch it by doing this,
you,
by pushing your hand up, and it jumps in the air. Then it follows you, and you put your hand underneath it, and it lands. It's one of these
Well, what
stupid little
happens if it
things.
gets away from you and you can't get your hand underneath it?
Then you got to be a flyaway. Yes,
yeah. It's
I
not
think it's an indoor deal. You know, it's just for
it's not
indoor.
a drone. It's just a flying camera.
Yeah, that's all it is. But they on Facebook on Marketplace, they're $400,
That's
and
ridiculous.
some stupid person is going to buy it for $400.
Mm,
Now, I wouldn't mind if I won it, I would love it in here. I'd have fun with it in here. If I can't control it though, I don't know if I will. Because
yeah,
I'd rather not it get away from me. I think what it does, it locks on you and stays with you.
yeah.
But I would hate for it to stay with me and make a turn and take my 65-inch TV out, you know. I
If
would
it's anything like the other one, I think you have to press the mode button on top of it a certain amount of times to get it to do different things.
yeah, you see that's probably it.
Like it'll do an orbit or it'll do a drone or whatever, and
I,
it'll track you, I think, as well. And it's basically just a toy.
I bet you it doesn't
And
have
it's
obstacle avoidance.
no, I don't think it has.
Yeah,
And
see, 'cause that's the thing.
the picture that Dono showed, I think it only had two propellers.
No, this one's got four.
Has it got four?
This one's got four with four propellers on each.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. It says all you have to do is put on there selfie me Ken on the original video, and he'll pick a random winner.
Mm.
Yeah, because that's all it is. Well, it works with an app off your phone.
Mm.
Yep, you put it in your hand. So it's got to be facing you and it's got to be in your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it does. It just flies around you.
Mm.
Your boy, is it unstable? Yeah. Yeah. He said it's the worst drone he's ever loved.
Mm.
Okay, that's how it works, Paul. It does the orbit, and then you put your hand out and it'll come back to your hand and land in your hand. That's crazy. It'll do any of the.
Yeah, it is, because my point would be, how does it know what hand to land in?
Well, put both hands out and find out. But when it does all its stuff, you put your hand out and it'll come back and land in your. It takes off from your hand and comes back to your hand. So if you got your hand right here, then you put your hand over here, is it going to come back over here? Yeah, he's walking around through a play gym area, and it's got no obstacle avoidance, and it's following him around. It's not hitting anything. It's seeing stuff. It's following him. Oh, he's gonna go down a slide with it. Oh, Lord help me.
Yeah, Jonathan's got a point. Who is fool enough to buy a $400 drone that can't be controlled?
Yeah, I would be an idiot to do that.
Yeah, an Instagram creator.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He went around something and he clipped the pole. When he clipped the pole, it did a 360 and then it landed down in the dirt. So if it touches something, it's going to land. So you never know where it's going to land.
Mm.
To me, that could not be legally flown outdoors, because you can't, the operator does not control the flight.
No, it can, because it's like the only way that you can legally fly without visual line of sight is if it's flying in an automated mode. Like if you're doing with DJI, if it's doing quick shots, you don't have to be looking at your drone all the time or tracking or anything like that.
No, but it also specifies in my 107 licensing that I am responsible for controlling the drone.
Mm.
You have to
Yeah.
be able to control the drone at all times, even if you're using a program.
There's no control on this drone. I'd never buy it. If I wanted, I'd sell it. Yeah.
Well, what's the name of it?
The Hover Air X1.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I know it's on Amazon. So every time I'm in the Nevada stuff, I see it pop up all the time.
$519, $479.
Yep. Well, is that a waste of money?
And the batteries for it are $40 a piece.
Yep. Yeah, I put the selfie me can in the video, so I hope I get picked. I get picked, like I said, I'm gonna sell it. I'll sell it for $100. Yeah. Yes. It's like Lost in Space. Danger, danger.
What's scary is on Amazon, the overall pick is the $479 version of it. And it says 500 plus bought in the last month.
I know, I saw that. That's the thing that got me. Shoot, that drone's gonna get us banned from flying drones. What are you talking about?
Well, that other one where both of the props sides folded down, so you ended up with a small pocket size one. That was a better one and a lot cheaper. I think
Yeah.
Russ did a thing on it a while back. Or was it Rick? Rick, not Russ. Rick. Rick's 51 drones, isn't he?
Yeah. No, 51's Russ.
Is that Russ? Which one's Rick then?
I gotta think.
Uh, yeah. Need drones something.
Well, they've also got an ad in here for drones for kids with cameras. And it shows about a 5 or 6 or 7-year-old flying a drone around.
Yeah.
In the house is fine, but you know what? That isn't going to stop them from taking it outside.
Yeah.
Good morning,
What's
guys.
up, Donald?
Oh, it's a quiet morning.
Hi, Don.
Yeah, that's another one. What's going on with this?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. And somebody's gonna buy it. You said over 500 bucks.
Oh yeah,
Wait, how much were they selling that for?
$99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that other one was 500.
Yep. The one that who's giving it away?
Ken Herron.
Well, if he's giving it away, that's well worth the money.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
said.
To get it for free, that's how much I would pay for it. Free.
I don't know if I'd ever fly it.
I have downstairs one of those toys that are about that much, or was several years ago. My wife bought me one because she knew I flew the Phantom 4 at work, and she thought I might like a drone here at home. and she
Hmm.
bought me one of the toys. And I flew it around a little bit.
Yeah, but the one that Ken Herron's giving away, Donald, doesn't have a controller. It flies itself flying.
Well, isn't that better?
Legally, no.
So it flies itself. So
What you have to
I
do is get close enough to it, put your hand up, and it'll land. Other than that,
oh
it just flies.
It follows you around based attraction.
well, as long as you're indoors the entire time, the FAA doesn't have anything to do with it.
Right? But you know as well as I do, somebody's going to take it outside.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
he had
it
it.
has a camera on it, but I didn't notice. Joe, did you see? Does it have collision avoidance on it?
No, no, he had a
No,
little girl that it was chasing
drop
around,
down.
and she stopped, and he came up and almost hit her in the back. You know, and then she ran
Yeah.
through a slide. She climbed up the slide and went through the slide and hit the top of the slide, spun around and landed on the ground.
Well, the props are all enclosed, aren't they?
Yeah, everything's enclosed, but still, that's like I had one of them, one of those little bitty Potensics I bought one time, and no, it wasn't a Potensic, it was the Cetus. Cetus
Oh
Beta.
yeah, he's giving away. That's the one that folds. That
Yeah,
it folds up, right?
yeah,
It's a flat and it just comes up, and yeah.
yeah.
I thought that one was mainly just to take selfies with.
That's all it is, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, if I remember right, that was one that you put out. It went up and you took a selfie, and I was always like, you can buy like an $18 tripod and a mount for your cell phone and get up the same height that it's doing a selfie from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
But
brother worked for a company where one of the guys had a drone, and they wanted to do a company like a picture of all the crew, and the guy had his drone, so he flies his drone out, puts up about 6 feet off the ground, and takes a picture of everybody. My brother's like, "Why the hell do we need a drone to do this? Why didn't somebody just have their cell phone?"
yeah.
Because the guy had to fly his drone and show off that he could fly a drone.
again, I don't hit you what you move for.
That's just like one of my clients had suggested I fly a drone in his coffee shop because he's seen footage of that kind of thing, and I could just put it here and fly a drone through. I'm like, I can put my GoPro on a monopod, hold it in the air, and walk through and get the exact same shot, and not risk anybody, not risk crashing it.
Yeah, but before I had a drone, I had a GoPro on a long stick, a monopod, and I was taking video of the band when Justin and them were in the band, and I was up in the air like that, following them around and doing. Everybody thought I did it with a drone
Mhm.
because it looked like it.
Yeah, it's you're aiming for the shot, and your job is to use the best slash safest tool for the job.
Yep.
Mm.
I mean, when you get your Part 107, anybody who's got the Part 107, we know they always tell you risk mitigation, and it's like the best risk mitigation you have is that if you don't need the drone in the air, don't put it in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just turn the camera on, sit it on a table.
Yep.
It's all about what shot are you after and why, and can you
Can't crash.
get that?
This is what Curtis just posted.
Yeah, those hyperlapses are fun. On my video that I did for the eclipse, I have a hyperlapse.
Yeah, I was gonna do that when I had the eclipse where I was hoping that it was just gonna get a little darker here because we were gonna get 80%. And then I had the hyperlapse on the swing bridge. Where I was gonna do that, and I did it the whole during the eclipse, and it never changed any colors. Yeah.
Well, that would be a time lapse. A hyperlapse is when the camera is moving.
Well, they call that a hyperlapse with the drone.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a hyperlapse because the camera is moving. If it was sitting still, it would just be called a
Yes,
time
time
lapse.
lapse.
And but yeah, I love these shots. I got some of them from when we went to North and South Dakota too. It's a great little filler. Just shove the GoPro up there and have it do a hyperlapse for a little bit just to show a traveling shot.
Mind you, you can still do it with the drone not moving, and they still call it a hyperlapse.
Eh,
Gets a little old, doesn't it?
yeah, it does. That's why usually when I use a clip like that, it's usually the most interesting segment of it, and it's about 3 seconds long total. I don't know that I could watch a big long. What's that bird there? Is that
That's David.
David.
Hey,
yeah? But what? No, not that one. The bird in the
That's
tree.
it.
I was looking at that mark on
It's
Bird
Mark.
in the tree.
It's Mark.
it's a wood pigeon.
It's a partridge and a petrel.
It's a wood pigeon,
Okay.
and that's in the cherry tree outside my back garden. Well, back gate, back door.
Well, my
whatever.
first thought was a dove, but then I looked at it. It's like, and it's not a dove. It's similar. I guess technically a pigeon.
Yeah,
Isn't a pigeon
doves are
related
the
to a dove?
doves are the same family as pigeons. So
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not the grey pigeon that you would find in towns and cities.
Right.
It's
And
a
the first thing I
brown.
saw there,
It's a brown.
it's the tree branch. It looked like it had a ring neck.
Yeah,
And I was like, what is that bird?
yeah, they're brown, and they quite often have a collar, like a black collar. And
Also, it's a greeny blue.
they live in in woods.
David says they're a greeny blue color.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
Shut up,
Jim!
the ringer on the neck, like a greeny blue, but
Shut up, who?
that one was actually like a dark brown.
I know.
I hope that you let me out when I actually have to, that's like.
Well, after your stream last night, all hell broke loose round here.
Round
What
there,
happened?
be outside or the birds inside.
Outside.
Ah.
Lots of police, lots of drones, lots of kids, 4 stabbings, one guy got crossed with a snooker ball on the head in a different incident. It all went off.
You know,
And now Laura wants to move. It's not blame her because it was like,
Yeah,
must have gone off for nearly 2 hours.
Well, that'll give Laura something to do. Look for some new digs.
Not that simple.
no, it's not.
and yeah, Curtis, the auto leveling and on the on the GoPros are awesome. I'm just reading back chat. So, who did Laura hit with the Q with the?
Actually, we're surprised Matthew actually slept through the whole lot.
Wow. The Treasure Chest Casino, that's the one I worked on EMS. Midnight last night was the last bet on that boat. And they closed down at midnight. The boat sales out today. I need to, if it wasn't raining, I'd go over there and get video of it. It sails out today and they're gonna bring it around and bring it up the river. And bring it to another location, they said, to be cleaned and everything else. And, Thursday, they no longer need the boat for riverboat gambling like they've been doing. And it's gonna open up their land base, brand new, 4,800 square foot gambling hall. 8,000 foot, convention space. It said it cost them 100 million to construct. So now it's gonna be a land-based casino right there in New Orleans.
Is it raining pretty good there, Joe?
It's raining too much to try to get over there and take pictures of it. And it's right. I think I don't even know if I got feet. I don't even know if I could right there. Because that's in the line of the, these are geo zone. And then I might have 50 feet that I could get. That's how close it is to the airport. But I would love to get it if it's coming all the way back down Lake Pontchartrain. I'd love to get it on Lake Pontchartrain, footage of it. But I worked those 12-hour shifts on that boat. God darn it, those are the longest shifts in the world. 12-hour shifts on the street and 12-hour shifts on that boat are completely different. Because you can't sleep, you can't find a place to hide because there's cameras everywhere. I had a place in the little EMS room downstairs that I looked at the cameras and I looked at the angles of the cameras, what they had, because they weren't wide angle cameras. So I knew that if I sat with my back against the wall here with the camera over my shoulder, and I had a magazine, they couldn't see my face. So I could rest my feet up on the thing and get good, like a tripod position, and have a magazine, and I could doze. And every time when I start to wake up, I flip a page like that. And they couldn't tell I was sleeping because I got the radio there. As soon as they need me, they call me, I'll go, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm laying there one time, I'm kicked back and I'm sitting there and my foot slipped a little bit and I did this. I went like that. And they went, Unit 80, did you just wake up? They were watching me the whole time. I said, no, man, I went to move my foot and slipped. They said, okay, we believe that. But they knew I was sleeping, but they couldn't prove it, you know?
Oh,
And I
what's
had a
your
girl coming in.
You should have said,
Camera
no, it was
goes back there.
voluntary movement. I'm still asleep.
What's that?
Are we not looking at boats today? We're looking at train tracks.
Well, that is. Well, you know, you got volunteers running the thing. It says Thomas Edison Depot Museum, which is right here. This is the depot that's down there on the water. That
They just angled the camera down away from the water then.
Thomas Edison family used to live in Port Huron when he was growing up, and he was a butcher on the, used to vend cigarettes, candies, all that kind of stuff on the train as it went back and forth to Detroit. He grew up in Port Huron.
Okay, I see the water now back behind there.
And so that's the Thomas Edison Depot that he used to get on the tracks there on the train and take the train down to Detroit.
Did say Thomas.
Okay. I just had never seen anybody angle the camera down away from the water before in the background, so I was kind of confused as to what we were watching.
Not much going on, so whoever's on the camera is dinking around with it.
Yeah, when you say Thomas Edison's Depot, is that the place where he hid all the stuff he stole? All the ideas?
What do you mean stuff he stole? What?
Well, he didn't do the light bulb, did he?
He sure did.
No, he didn't. He stole it.
No, there were a bunch of people working on the light bulb. He perfected it. He perfected one that worked.
The light bulb.
I stole it.
So what he's trying to get to, Donald, is that some British numbskull couldn't figure it out. Thomas Edison did, so Thomas Edison got the credit, and the numbskull is history.
Yeah.
Well,
right,
no,
David?
there was people all over the place working on a enclosed light bulb. There were a ton of people working on it. And he took ideas that other people had, absolutely, but he made them work. And that's why his name's attached.
Because he was smarter than the rest.
Oh,
Maybe not, maybe luckier.
or he just stole the ideas and got away with it.
Okay, who did he steal the idea from? David, go ahead and tell us the story.
I don't know. It's just a fact that is commonly known.
On it,
No, it's
Tesla.
commonly
that's-
known by you because you pisses you off because an American did something.
Got nothing to do with that. I don't give a fuck where the light bulb came from. It's a good idea and I like it.
Wasn't it
the right person that stole it?
No, people say that. There's a lot of people that say that will do that. They say that the inventor, person who invented it, got the credit, didn't really do it, and a lot of times they are right that they didn't do the entire thing. But to say that he stole the idea for the light bulb is disingenuous because there were a lot of people working on the idea at the same time.
Well,
That doesn't mean that he stole it. It means that he was working on it conjointly with other people.
Well-
He actually made it work.
an American program known for millions around the world, yeah, has actually said several times in it that he stole the idea.
Okay.
And now if an American says he stole it, I agree with him. I mean, it
Okay.
might have been Sheldon Cooper, Raj, and Leonard, and that, but still.
Okay. Not rising to any bait today, David.
That's just a rise to it, the saying.
No.
Good God. What have I just put on telly?
Well, I got in last night. I got my new emergency brake. I had to cut the old one out with a reciprocal saw.
What's that,
Because-
Donald?
I got a new emergency brake put into my dune buggy. I had to cut the pin that held the old one out with a saw because it was rusted in for so long and held in.
Place, huh?
I could not drive it out. So I bought a new handle. It was for my year of car, but they had changed the design. It was a universal design and it would not fit my car. So I ended up basically Frankensteining some of the parts from the old handbrake and the new handbrake and got a new handbrake put in.
Wow.
So
you're
today is going.
pretty much done with it now, huh?
It's driving, yeah. Today I'm going to back it out and start cleaning the garage. It's like I've just been throwing tools and keeping things, just kind of setting things aside, and it's like I'm going to clean the garage up today.
Oh.
I might take the buggy out for a drive.
There is a film on television that I did not know existed.
What's the film?
Hergé's Adventures of Tintin. Not cartoon, real life.
Yeah, I know there was a Tintin film. Pretty old though.
Yeah, I don't know which channel it's on because my remote control and my Virgin's just. I was changing channels. I was actually going up the sports channels and suddenly ended up on this. And either I've changed from the Virgin box to a different box because the Virgin controller's doing nothing on the screen at the moment. So maybe I just pressed the wrong button and we're on normal telly now.
So it's a live action.
Yeah,
Okay, I knew they had made a 3D one. several years ago. And I wanted to say that was like Spielberg or somebody that was producing that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Or it might have been Zemeckis.
Hey, Jonathan.
It certainly looks live action. That's definitely a person, isn't it? I don't think that's computer. Can you see it? Or is the background stopping you from looking?
You just appeared and then disappeared. By the way, that's the wrong blue you're wearing. You should be wearing red.
The dog's definitely anime, well, CG
Are you okay?
by the looks of it. According to the television, I'm still watching the Virgin box. So I wonder if the batteries have gone haywire in my remote.
And this rain gotta stop. Been raining too many days.
So Johnny, when are they moving that boat?
Is that Joe or Johnny? No, they didn't say. They didn't say when they're moving it. That's the thing. I thought they were moving it today. But it says the boat's being sold. I was reading the article and said the boat's being sold. And it said that they didn't give a date when it's gonna move, because the new casino, the way it goes, you gotta go over the levee to where the casino's at. The new casino is on you don't have to go over the levee. It's gonna be where the parking lot was.
Okay.
And they put in the parking lot around it. So they've changed that a little bit.
Did they build the new casino already?
Yeah, it's opening Thursday.
Okay. Because I would imagine they're gonna keep running the boat casino right up until the day.
Well, they shut it down last night.
Oh, they did. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they said at midnight they shut it down. So they're gonna give it a couple of days. What they're doing, I know why they shut it down. It's gonna take them a couple of days to transition all that money over.
And probably equipment too.
Well, they're gonna have something. I think that it's all the new stuff's in there already. So everything in there, it'll probably be sold. It's probably gonna wind up in Lake Charles or someplace else where they can put it on the river or Baton Rouge. So I need to find out. I'm gonna have to call over there and see if they know when the boat's gonna be moved, and that way maybe I can get out there and film it then. I could call news; they'll know. I could ask my editor to check on it for me because it's being covered through my paper. So we'll know. We'll know before anybody else. And then I'll just go out there with a drone and follow it for a little bit and do some orbits around it and things. But just because I worked on it, I'd like to get pictures of it before it leaves, you know? I think it'd be cool.
Well, yeah, it's history.
Yeah. It opened in 1994. That was when my daughter was born. And I worked on it, I worked on it, I think in 95 for about 6 months. Where I worked it. And I can't remember the shift. I knew it was a 12-hour shift. Can't remember. I think it was a 2-2-3 shift. Where you work 2 days on, 2 days on, 3 days off, 3 days. It was 2-2-3. It was 2 days on, 2 days off. 3 days. 3 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off. That's how it worked. And I remember those 3 days in a row. I hated them. Oh God, I hated them. I didn't mind it on a unit because we did stuff all day and you got to drive around. When you're doing the 3 days in a row on the boat, 12-hour shifts, and actually it was 13-hour shifts because we'd have an hour transition between the guy that came on and the guy that was leaving. I remember that. So we worked 13-hour shifts. It was built-in overtime. If I remember right, I think it was 37 hours of built-in overtime every 2 weeks, just because of the way the shifts overlapped. So you automatically got 37 hours of overtime in your 2 week period. And you were the sole EMS on board when they sailed or whenever you were on there for your shift. And you controlled so much as EMS. You had so much. You were more important than the captain of the boat. They had a riverboat captain that used to have to be there to sail it. And I remember one time we had an area outside the casino where they had a little bar and a little restaurant. That's where they had their bar and their restaurant. It was like a little barge that they built on. And there was a woman that was having chest pains. And I went out there. I was working on somebody that had slipped and cut her arm. And then they said they had somebody with chest pains in the casino. So I had to run and grab my stuff and run out there, everything to shock her if I needed to. And I get out there and she's sitting up and I told him, I said, let me know what kind of history we've got. I asked him to ask her if she's got any cardiac history, because she was in her 70s. And I said, and let her know if she's got a nitro, make sure she takes a nitro tablet before I get there. And I ran downstairs, grabbed my stuff and ran up. And she was having chest pains. She had a cardiac history. She had coded about 6 months earlier. And I started talking to her and she took a second nitro and her chest was starting to feel a little bit better. And so she wasn't having the thing. I called in my unit from my company and East Jefferson, the center unit out. So we had 2 units coming in case whoever got there first was getting her, in case she had to go to the hospital. I didn't feel like working a code. And so we get everything together and she starts feeling better. She refuses treatment, doesn't want to go to the hospital, says she's perfectly fine like that. Her chest is not hurting anymore. It happens every once in a while. And we're getting ready to sail. And they're saying, Unit 80, we're getting ready to sail. I said, negative. I said, I'm on a barge. I can't get on. I got a patient. I'm on a barge, a cardiac, like that. So they call me again and the state police come walking out there. And the state police, what's going on? I said, chest pains. I said, we're trying to determine whether she's going to the hospital or what's happening. And the state police turned around and called it in and said, shut the boat down. You're not sailing. Because I couldn't get on the boat. They wouldn't sail. So that was the weight I had out there. You know, and the captain came down. He said, what's going on? I said, got a cardiac until I could get cleared. And they said, nope, shut it down. You don't have to go out this time. Just run it for the next shift when they did the next sail. So they realized then what EMS had on because we had full control of whether that boat sailed or not, depending on what we were doing. You know, we were on board, we go.
Be right back.
But so it showed. But this woman, I think she was 77 years old. And they had a guy standing there walking around kind of pacing. And it was with her. And I said, well, I think you need to go to the hospital based on your history. But you're refusing, so sign here and do everything. And we signed everything. And she gets up and starts walking towards the boat. And I said, what are you doing? She goes, well, I'm going to go gamble. I said, no, you're not. And she looked at me. She said, what do you mean? I said, I sure can't make you go to the hospital, but I'm not letting you get on my boat. You cannot get on the boat and me be out sailing and have it work you with a cardiac. I said, we're not equipped to do that. She looked at me, she says, you could stop me? State police says, yeah, he can. Like that. If he says he doesn't want you there based on that situation, that you refuse treatment on, you're not allowed on the boat tonight. So she wound up going home, and Jan was my unit. She said, what do you think? I said, I think she's gonna have another incident myself, just the way she's acting. Everything I'm looking at strips, everything we read, you know. And she said, I think she's lying too. I think she's having chest pains and not telling anybody. And I said, well, you need to get, I said, you need to get with I said, is this your husband or who is this? No, that's my friend, like this. And she's saying, I said, well, I need your friend. Well, I drive, my friend I'm driving, I got to get him home. So come to find out that she was married, she was out with this guy. And she's 77 years old, married to somebody, out with this guy. She don't want her daughter to know or anybody to know what's going on. But she's going to go ahead and drive the guy home and then go home. So they leave, and Jan looks at me and she says, I'm going to go out to the parking lot and find out where they're at, and I'm going to just follow them as long as I can follow them until we get a call. I said, okay. They got about 6 miles down the road. She pulls over to the side, and she started having a cardiac incident again. So they wound up taking her from the car to the hospital. So it was like, and she coded at the hospital, and they got her back again. But that would have happened on a boat, I guarantee
That boat's called the
But I
Trump
would-
Princess behind you?
you.
No, it's, I think that's a tug pulling that
Yeah, it's
other
pulling.
boat, but I think the other boat might be where you
Someone in the
drive
chat-
drive on in the back.
Oh, someone in the chat just said they're towing a casino boat called the Trump Princess.
No. The name
I was like-
of that boat is
I was like, what? Maybe I'm
the
mistaken what they're.
John Marshall. It's going to Sarnia Harbor. What I found interesting about it, I was waiting for it to get alongside or so we can see the rear of the boat being towed to see if it has like the loading type thing, where you drive cars and trucks.
Drive
in.
onto it.
Yeah.
Because they have boats like that up on the lake going out to the islands or whatever.
Yeah, there's a cable right there. They got it.
Yep.
It's got to be a strong cable.
Oh. I'm guessing it was a joke. LOL. Okay. I was like, I just read it in the chat. I was like, is that true? Let's see.
No, it's not. It's not that kind of boat because there's no way. Oh yeah, there is here. This goes down to allows them to put stuff in the back, I think. I could be wrong. No, because it's got stairs there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not. Looks like it could be some kind of tourist boat. that's all.
Majestic Star, Gary, Indiana.
Gary,
Majestic
Indiana,
Star.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
Majestic Star.
Ron Howard singing that song in the Music Man.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's where he's from.
And spit all over the place.
That's where he's from.
Yeah. That was
I love the
crazy.
music,
I
man.
love
That was a
song.
great. That was a great musical.
Yeah, I love that one. That was a good movie. musical.
Marion, the librarian.
See the current's taking it. This boat here probably got it in reverse to slow it down. Because the current is actually moving that boat down. And the steering tug.
Yeah, that tug behind's doing a lot.
Yeah, you can see how it's in reverse because it's pushing against the water. Or pulling against the water.
Yeah, look at him. He's tilting a little more now because he's got to get it to make that turn too. Yep. He just put a little more angle on it to make sure that thing. You can see it drifting. It's drifting right now.
Well, it's gonna go in about across from here. If it's going to Sarnia Harbor. Well, that's called the government docks. The Sarnia Harbor could be further down and around. They've got a harbor for regular vessels. Like 25, 30, 40, 40, 55-foot yachts. They've got a harbor down around the corner there.
Dang it. Sit here, got Gary, Indiana, Gary.
And that's it's in your head, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that earworm's there. Hey, Paul, I had to shift one day on the treasure chest. We had a hurricane come through. And and I called up and I said they said they're shutting down the treasure chest. And American Medical Center called me and they said they're shutting down the treasure chest today and tomorrow because of the hurricane coming through. But we still need medical on board. Like that, so you still have to go to the ship. So okay. So I made sure my wife and everybody was taken care of, and I took off I went to the boat and got on the boat. And when I was getting on the boat, I couldn't go in the back door like we usually did because they were transferring money off the boat. And it looked like an ops thing. All the people in black with AR-15s and all the armored cars that were out in the back. They were taking money off, and they had a perimeter around there, people with AR-15s set up. And what they said is that the boat had to keep $10 million in revenue on the boat. That was gambling revenue. And they had to keep another 10 million on the boat as a backup revenue. So they were taking all 20 million off the boat. So you weren't going in that area without getting in trouble. So I had to go through the front door that day. So when we were getting ready to sail, they said, we're going to sail. I said, why are we going to sail? They said they didn't want it against the dock in case it breaks from off the dock. And then they got damage to the boat. So they said they're safer. It could handle like 100-mile-an-hour winds. So they were going, it was a little small hurricane coming through. So they were going to go out and just get out in the lake, on Lake Pontchartrain. And they said, we're going to ride it out in the lake. And they said, we won't come back till we can come back in tomorrow morning. So I knew I might be stuck there like 48 hours then. So the restaurant brought all the food in to us that they had and brought it downstairs to all the coolers and freezers and hot plates and everything. We had lobster, filet mignon. We had anything you could think of to eat for that 24-hour period. I mean, it was like I ate so good. I think I gained weight that day because I was sitting there eating fillets and lobsters because there was nobody on board but about 6 security and me and the captain and the crew. So they would have a couple of people walk in the place just to make sure that everything was fine. And we were all sitting downstairs in the lunchroom talking the whole time. And we actually had a deck of cards down there playing cards. And I was sitting there eating lobster all night. And then when we left the next day, all the excess food that was there, they said, take what you want. I brought home steak and lobster. They had chicken, everything. I just took bags of food home. Yeah. What are they going in for? They're going into something
Well,
wrong with the engines
there's a
or?
harbor here. I don't think it's going there. It could be. But it's gotta go in and around the corner. Whoever's operating this camera has to pan it. See, so you got a harbor up here and you've got these boats,
Yeah.
and then you got these docks here.
It's got a lot of boat traffic up there right now, even
Yeah.
with the little ones.
Yep. Well, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
See, normally if it were a luxury boat, there'd be windows all along here and here. It's almost
Yeah.
like it might have been a casino boat or something. I don't know.
It could be either that or a private thing. I don't know if it's a private one. That's a lot of money.
Well, yeah, and if it's a private boat, why wouldn't your nameplates be on it more predominantly? So now this is what they call government docks right here. This is all big harbor,
Yeah.
and they're going past it unless they're going to turn. It says it's going to Sarnia Harbor, which to me, the Sarnia Harbor is behind these government docks over here. Right here. There's Sarnia
Yeah.
Harbor. Unless they're going to go down and turn around, but I don't believe it.
Jonathan, a B movie was like a low budget movie. Usually in a like a double feature, they would show uh, like the lesser known movie. It's like a B side on a record. It's a lesser known uh, side of the record because they would like release a single and then the other side would just be an extra song. They'd call that the B side. And sometimes B sides became more popular. But a B movie is just like that, except for like double features in movies. You'd have your A feature and then your B feature. And usually that was a cheaper, lesser known movie. Cheesier.
Well, see, now he looks like he's turning that way to go that way.
Uh-huh.
See, there's a buoy marker right there, so it's shallower here. Looks like it's been beat up a little bit. See here's
Yeah.
growth of some kind there and there. Might have been
Like need a paint job.
mothballed and somebody bought it.
Yeah, it look like it need a paint job, don't
Yep. Well, you can tell by how poorly the name is scraped up.
it? I tell you, Paul, isn't this the life? Look at this dog in my arm.
Oh yeah, that's your baby.
Just laying here with her head on me, just laying there. Oh, that just ruined the moment. Thank you. She just burped. Just ruined the moment.
Well, Joe, is a fart or a burp is always going to happen because you can't stop that.
Yeah. It looks like it's turning.
Yep.
Yeah, she came up to me. No, maybe not. She came up to me and she licked me on the leg once. I reached down and I touched on a cheek, so she started licking my hand, like telling me she loved me.
Yeah, look at the prop wash. He's trying to slow her down now.
Yeah.
On that rear tug, follow tug.
But she's up here just laying, just all laid out, just all dead weight.
Unless he's gonna go down here and like tie it up down along here.
Oh, we know, you bought that shit, you know you bought that.
Well, if you had unlimited funds, it'd be fun to buy a ship like that and then redo it the way you want it done, you know?
Shoot, if I had unlimited funds and I could buy one like that, I'd have that thing retrofitted where it'd be like one deck would be bedrooms for people, the whole bottom deck would be mine. And I'd live there.
Yeah, look at he's got the engines going in reverse.
Yep. It may be end of life and they're just taking it to cut it up.
Well, if they do that, they'd have continued on down and gone to there's places on the Lake Erie where they have shipyards that they destroy ships.
Yep.
Hey, Paul, I moved a little bit, she lifted her head up, and then when I settled in, she just pounced it right back down. Just pounced it right back down. That's where she wants to be right now. She wants to be up here getting loving.
Well, he's turning this way, so maybe he's going to swing around and go straight in. I don't know. Because
Stop,
on
stop, Yogi.
this shot from top of the convention center, you can see he's swinging around that way. Because that's a wide part of the river down there. Yeah, he's going to swing around. It's got all these sailboaters because they go out and then they have sailboat races every Sunday out in the lake. So you got all the sailboaters coming out of Black River and up going upriver and see, this is more pixelated simply because of the distance, I think. Yeah, because that's on HD right there. So
It started raining so hard that you could hear it, and she got all antsy. You okay? You up here? Lay down. It might be docking on this side.
Yeah, it was set at 720 down there on this one. I just changed it to 1080. And you gotta remember too, it's kinda, the weather isn't all that well. Great.
Uh-huh.
This is on the top of that big white building.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why she wandered up here. She must have been hearing rumbling in the background. It was starting to get lightning again.
Oh, is
What it was.
that, you're gonna get some storms?
Yeah, it's coming through because it started raining real good. And she turned around, tried to get a head under my arm and everything else.
You know,
She
maybe
gets
they're going
nervous.
to back another boat up and race them.
Yeah, there you go. I need to be scared.
Well, see, this lead tug right here now is pushing against the current. You gotta remember there's a 7 knot current going this way, and he's
Mhm.
trying to come upstream.
Yeah,
Look at how the cable all of a sudden is tightening and loosening and tightening and loosening.
yeah. Better hope that cable hold.
Yeah.
Feel like a gunshot. Every time you get thunder, she sticks her head under my arm.
So is the thunder getting louder?
It's just a little rumble in the background. When
Yeah,
she
well,
hears it,
that's the
she's
thing I've
sticking her head underneath my arm.
that's the thing about with animals, especially dogs, cats, and whatever. They can hear for miles. You and I can't hear shit, but
Yeah.
they hear for miles. Oh, can you imagine the olfactory they have for smelling things? They can smell stuff a mile away.
Yep. And she knows what's happening. She knows. That's why she was so eager to get my arms because she usually don't. Said she needed some loving. I said to her real quietly, lightning has been detected in the area. And look at her, she's trying to get under my arm. Okay. Hey, settle down. Getting scared. And she was, like I said, until that guy moved downstairs a few years ago, she was never afraid of anything.
It wasn't a problem before, huh?
Not an issue. I used to get a kick out of the fact that it could be thunder and lightning, a hurricane could be outside, and they'd be walking around like nothing going on.
Don't you dare.
I know. I know. I know.
Well, Precious knows she's in trouble now.
Mhm.
Because I've just found the remains of the digestive biscuit packet outside. She's picked it up, taken it out, and ate all what's left. Nearly half a packet of biscuits.
So you're saying that she's gonna have a fluid system?
Well, they were chocolate digestives, so
Extra fluid system. She's not gonna have any stoppages. Wait. She's up here all nervous and Loki's trying to bring me a ball to play with. Yeah. I'll put you down.
Hey, they're working hard on the front of that ship, aren't they? The ship that's being towed.
Oh, please. Yeah, they're working.
I'm thinking they're gonna go into the government dock area. I could be wrong.
Might be.
Because usually when they go to the government docks, they hug the American shoreline, which is what it's doing, and they swing in there.
what's that for? Customs to check them over.
No, I think that's probably a destination where they're going to work on it because they've got over there. They've got a lot of resources for working on ships.
All right.
It's all a speculation.
Well, Paul, run down there real quick and flag them down and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
Well, I wouldn't really need to do that. I've got a marine radio here. I could call them. And they'd want to know who's this? What?
I'm watching you on the internet. I need to know what you're doing. I'm watching you on the YouTubes.
Yeah, on the YouTube.
On the
I'm watching you
YouTube.
on the YouTubes, and I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing?
Y'all look suspicious.
Well, the fact they've got a tug pulling it, could that mean it's lost drive?
No, because I'm guessing, just guessing. I'm guessing that it came up the Mississippi. And then it went through the connection to Lower Lake Michigan. And now it's come up around the loop and it's coming down to here for some reason. Because wasn't it from Tennessee or someplace? Joe, where did it say it was from?
I can't remember. I think it was Tennessee.
Yeah, according to this, it's headed that way, but it's not heading that solid that way.
Hmm.
It could be because they're gonna have to swing it in, you know?
And my son's supposed to be sleeping right now. And he keeps going back and forth to the bathroom. He needs it because he works tonight, another 12-hour shift. He usually sleeps till about 1:30.
Now the tug on the rear looks like it's gonna be trying to keep the back end swung straight. Could be
Yeah,
going
we
up
got-
over into here too. Cause I know that a lot of trucks come down here and work on ships.
And today is gonna be an all-day thing till about 7 tonight. So we're gonna have rain off and on until about 7 tonight.
As you can see here on this screen, we're seeing more and more of this side of the ship, so it is moving that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a large area here to go up into there. Oh, he's turning a little bit more to the right.
Why is he being told? Sorry, I've missed all this. Why is he being told, Paul?
That nobody seems to know. It looks like it's been mothballed and not being used, and it could be being towed. Somebody bought it, maybe going to rehab it.
Yeah.
They don't wreck ships here, so. But he is turning in. And I was thinking it was gonna go up into here. But there's also dockage up here on this side. See the docks over here, there's docks. And you can see, no, he's going in. They're gonna turn and go into Sarnia to the harbor. They call it the government docks because evidently must be government docks there.
Hi, Lance.
Got all that space on top for launching drones from. It looks like it's.
Yeah.
I have plenty of space to run around and have dog food balls and stuff.
Oh, she's in trouble.
Oh, what's she done?
Well, sometime this afternoon while I've not been watching her, she's picked up the half a packet of chocolate digestive that was left outside, isn't it?
Who? The telling Precious, I left them out. What's the side difference between the big carrier barges and the liner?
See, the thing that I don't know whether it was a floating casino type situation. Because normally, if it's a luxury liner, even if there was rooms along here, there'd be some big windows,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and there's no windows on the front.
Maybe they didn't get the windows update.
I don't know.
Well, there are some small windows, but yeah, they're not.
Yeah, like it could be the captain's quarters or whatever, and up here, I don't know. But on the rear, when we got to look inside the rear, it had stairwells going all the way down from up here all the way down. Circular stairwells.
That's it.
You're not just boarded up
Go,
window.
Justin.
Hey, Justin.
And Justin,
Oh, man.
Afternoon,
What's
Justin.
up, Justin?
So I moved, what's going on? I moved to Prism Live and got it all set up already.
You
It's
guys play a lot last night?
Yeah, it's exactly like, Stream Labs, but it's free to multi-stream, so why not?
Is there any limit on the multi-streaming?
No. The Streamlabs is identical to it, except for you have to pay to multi-stream on Streamlabs. Why the fuck would I pay for it if I can do it for free?
That's why I keep telling my wife.
And they got
But
better.
she says,
overlays.
dude, you knew what I was when you married me? Give me the $20. All right. All right.
Well, you-
No
that's-
family and friends discount, I guess. All right.
That's
Shit, you get it cheap.
1980 That's 1980s prices, buddy.
You're getting it cheap.
Yeah.
You guys don't tell my wife I said that. She'll kick my ass. I was only funning.
But you can tell her that inflation's gone up quite well, a lot.
Yeah, she needs to up her prices.
No.
How about
There's a
say
price
that?
and quality ratio
Well,
there that
it's a
her prices
quality
are
issue.
fine.
Yes, she is gonna kick your butt.
Yeah, that last one.
Hey,
Yeah.
Don, let's see how smart you are. When and if. There is a tall ship named When and If. Don't Google it. Do you know what the story behind that is?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
When and if?
There's a
I have no
tall ship
idea.
named the When and If. Back in
I have
the
no idea.
when they came through here, tall ships, NOLA. I can't get the screen to find, something's going on with my screen. I can't get it to show it. But there was a ship came through, it was called the When and If. And George Patton commissioned that ship. That's his. And he said he's gonna name it the When and If. He said, when I retire and if I retire, I'm gonna sail on the ship. And he died before it happened.
Oh. Nope, never heard that.
See
It
now
was
that
George
ship,
Patton's.
that ship in the background there, Joe. Look at it. It's kind of similar. This one is bigger than that one, I think.
we had a pub here called the If Not, Why Not.
I don't know what is going on with this computer. But I can't get to anything on, let me see what, maybe it's just me.
I think I
That's
just
not
heard a
me.
peacock.
What's a peacock sound like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he's gonna go outside now. There's one old feathered up waiting, going, where is it?
No, I think I heard one, and it would be back on there's a parallel road back here behind the subdivision that I'm thinking it would have been that one of those houses might have one. I like the sound. People hate peacocks. I love the sound of a peacock
Why would anybody hate the sound of a peacock?
because they're loud and they do that early in the morning. I mean, that's loud.
A bit like rich man's rooster.
Uh-huh.
Oh, roosters can be annoying. Although I know Justin likes the sound of a rooster in the morning. Any cockle-doo!
So Donald,
That
have
was-
you got the dune buggy ready to go or what?
Yeah. Did you see me back it out earlier?
Yeah. But where is it, out on the street or what?
Where the hell went?
Oh yeah.
See it?
Yeah.
There it is.
But
Of course, it
it's
looks
raining.
cloudy.
It's-
It looks a little cloudy. I might have to pull it back in pretty
uh,
quick. I just
dark
pulled it
cl-
out so I
dark
could.
clouds over top of you, yeah.
It's small
Yeah,
enough.
I just pulled it out so I could sweep up in this area underneath of it and put a fresh bit of cardboard down.
In case it leaks again.
Oh yeah, it gets a piddle pad. It's not in case it leaked. It's for when it leaked.
But when it leaks, yeah.
I mean, a VW is going to mark its spot no matter how good you got it put together. So
Hello, Dre.
Can y'all see that, Sheriff?
uh-huh.
That's the
Okay.
winning.
The when and if. Oh, that's a pretty boat.
Yeah, that was in 2018, the tricentennial celebration. I was out there shooting pictures of it for the paper.
That's pretty. You know, I've only been sailing like on a true
What's up, Dre?
sailboat 3 times in my life. And one was a larger one like that. Another one was just a smaller. But
Never been on a
I
sailboat.
love it.
I've been on lots of boats, but never a sailboat. Everybody I knew all had like speedboats and stuff. And
I've been on a lot of those and around here, a lot of pontoons.
Yeah, a lot of pontoon boats. I've been on quite a few of those.
Heck, I've got an inflatable kayak. Used to go canoeing. My parents had I should have gotten that canoe. It was a fiberglass canoe. And I would take that thing out constantly when I was in my late teens. And then it set, and I kept on promising my wife I'd take her canoeing sometime, and we never did. My parents finally sold the
God, I don't know how many
Canoe.
people I've seen flip over in canoes.
and they would have just given it to me. But I really liked it because it was a little flexible, whereas an aluminum canoe, very rigid. And so if you came across, there's a couple spots on Shoal Creek where you have some submerged stuff. And if you hit that with a regular canoe, aluminum canoe, which is the V bottom, it would hit you and it would dump you really easy. But since this was a flatter bottom canoe and it was flexible, you would hit it and you would just kind of slide over. It might shift you a little bit, but it was a lot more stable when you hit anything submerged.
Yeah, legit canoe, you better know how to
Go on then.
sit
Tell
in
him.
it properly, that's for sure. Because they will flip easily.
Well, it was a legit canoe. I mean, canoes, originally
I'm talking
were
about
a
the
little
ones that have
flexible.
the real pointy bottom. Those ones, you gotta be careful with
Yeah.
those.
I was gonna say it depends on what you call a canoe. If you're talking about like a dugout canoe made out of a log, those were
Guy,
not pointy
Seen a
bottoms,
lot of
but they
people
were.
flip them.
Justin,
What?
I've got Rebecca here. She's gone all shy when she came in to tell you to shut up when you were nuggy.
Hey. Hey,
Laura's been teaching her.
Oh, she's run off now. Welcome back.
Hey, did you learn that from Aunt Laura?
Did you learn it from Laura?
No.
No? Where'd you learn it from?
You don't know.
You don't know.
No. Wow.
definitely was Laura. Try
Wow.
to-
Hey, where'd you learn shut up, Justin? From? There you go.
From Laura. Yeah.
Laura.
I see Dre came in to learn some stuff again. What's up, Dre?
What are you mumbling about, Justin?
See, I think I'd get him to talk. Why does your mic sound muffled, Dre?
Well, that's what I was going through to see what's going on with my mic. Does it still sound muffled?
No,
Yeah, it sounds a little better.
Lot
It
better.
sounded really muffled a second ago.
well, it almost sounded garbled like you were really close to the mic, you know?
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, it's a lot clearer.
Okay.
Yes. Laura told you to know Justin, you don't know why. That's because Laura's annoying full stop.
Uh,
Look, say that out loud. Yeah, it had to be sent.
I actually like Prism's overlays better too. They got some nicer overlays. But I was able to import everything from Streamlabs over. So there was like one or two things that they didn't have that Streamlabs did, and it allows me to use them. Just
So
pretty cool.
in essence, you're using the best of both worlds, right?
I mean, this is the first time I've ever used Prism Live Studio, but it's exactly the same. Obviously, they're using OBS because it's open source, but their setup is almost identical to Streamlabs. It's just they let you multi-stream for free and at up to 4K. So why not? You
I've
don't have to pay for it.
got a sneaky feeling, just a hunch here, that Laura's moving over to Prism.
It's actually a really nice program. I was going through it last night. It took me like 10 minutes to get it set up. Like 10, 15 minutes. It was really quick.
But that's all
If
right.
if she knows how to do Streamlabs, she'll be able to set it up in no time, even
Cool.
if she doesn't import her stuff.
Okay, so if you've got a couple of hours spare, Laura will need your help setting it up.
Oh, Laura's got this. She knows how to do it.
And then you'll have to help Tim.
Laura, I have noticed that Laura is really good at
Sorting Streamlabs out. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Tim only streams to YouTube anyway, so he doesn't really need that. He doesn't even have a Twitch account or a Kick account, or he doesn't stream to Facebook, so he doesn't really need multi-streaming, so he's fine with the setup he has.
Now, the
What-
question I was gonna ask Justin is, I don't know if everybody was watching Jason's live stream yesterday trying to recover somebody's RC plane out of a tree, but he uses
Uh-huh.
Prism on his phone. Now,
Yeah.
what would be better on your phone? Would be straight to YouTube or using Prism?
Using
You
Prism,
kind of have to use
probably.
Prism, don't you?
No,
Well, if
you can go straight to YouTube.
I mean, probably Prism. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't tested it, but it does have, what I like about it too is it also has the remote control, just like Streamlabs. So like all my scenes and everything, I can actually pull up a remote control and control my stream on my computer with it.
Now,
Well,
Which is really
I'm
cool.
thinking about the handheld because Jason does it, on his phone. I think he has it on a gimbal or something. Like yesterday, he was out in the field at a FRIA, I would
Yeah,
say.
I didn't
And,
see it, but I heard about
Yeah,
it.
he was showing his slingshot gear and how he went up there. And right when he was about to get I don't know if he got the plane down or not, but right when he was in the efforts of the last stages of getting it down, his phone went out.
But what's
Well, that's the
What's
best time for it to
cool-
go out because you can then come back later and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, guess what? I was brilliant. I didn't crash. I didn't actually get my drone stuck as well."
Yeah, well, they do. No, that is you always that part two part. Oh, stay tuned for next episode.
Yeah.
well, what's cool about Prism, like I said, the biggest thing I like about it, because I mean, it doesn't really have, it's got a few better overlays than Streamlabs does, but the multi-streaming for free up to 4K. I mean, any other Streamlabs, you have to pay for that. StreamYard and Zoom and stuff, they don't even have past 4K, and you have to pay for multi-streaming.
yeah, Laura said send her a
And that's expensive. I mean, it can be up to like $30 to $40 on some of those.
Laura said, send what?
a month.
send her a link.
Send a link.
Okay.
The original Mavic Pro you could connect to Prism with as well and stream from the Mavic Pro.
I used Prism like 2 or 3 years ago for a little bit, but back then it was so finicky. I didn't like it because they were kind of just starting to really take off, and so they had a lot of glitches. And so I didn't use it for the computer, just for my phone, and I didn't like it on the phone because it was so glitchy, but they've seemed to have really improved on it over the last couple of years.
Well, I think Jason streams from his Mavic 3 with the RC Pro through his phone to Prism, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has to. Yeah, I think he has to use Prism to do that. I don't know. Otherwise, you have to go through all that RTMP bullshit and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain in the ass. I'm not entirely sure how he does it because Throw this in Messenger real quick and then to Laura. All right, there you go, Laura. But their overlays are really nice. So like their chat overlays and their viewer account overlays and stuff, they got multiple choices on them where.
Just a few moments later, and she goes, "Look, they start selling." Yeah, and suddenly, is this the day? Drop the couple of shots after that, but not too bad. Good shot. Fine. And on this occasion, no colors. Trio of cards at 12, 13, 14, this is 15, the par 5. This is where it started to take things by the horns. You roll that one in for a 34. Here it is. Call it 12 feet. Right in the heart. Well, you know, it really times.
Yeah, the only thing I got to do today is just test out the audio. Make sure that's working okay.
16. And then the winning moment down the last. Time was on that sort of 72nd hole, around the 72.
Oh, where the fuck did Zoom go?
Alright, down everyone at Cumberland Park. It's golf club that he represents for the put their hands together. Be plenty of punts.
Yeah, I guess that airplane yesterday, I guess Jason, from what he was saying last night, he just had to shake the tree and was able to get it out.
Well, he was shaking it quite a bit, dude. I thought, you know, it's the classic example. Jason was busting his behind, trying to get that thing down, and then here come all the supervisors come over and try to tell him how to do it.
Yeah.
All these old guys stuck with him, and he says, "Hey, you want to help me out?" And they're all like, "No, no, no, no. I'm just here to watch."
Yeah, apparently, I guess, yeah, one of them was like, I think he said last night, one of them was like annoying him, trying to tell him how to get out of the tree.
Yeah. I said, dude, unless you gonna go to the local equipment rental place and get me a scissor lift, shut up.
You're right.
Yeah.
But it's like first he's out there by himself. Even his son didn't even come out there first. Once his son came out, they had him holding the camera, and it was hilarious. I mean, Jason was working it, dude. He was breaking a sweat trying to yank on that branch up there and stuff. And the plane was, I guess, one of the wheels or the tail section was wedged between some branches, and all of a sudden it's like one guy comes out. Here comes another 2 guys coming out, and they're all like, "Oh yeah. You go over here. You should have go back and do it this way." I'm like, that's why I asked. I said, "Are you doing this as a service or just helping out?" Because I'm saying this is what happens when you're out there trying to help people. All of a sudden, everybody wants to be the supervisor. Now, if they're paying him to get this, drone out, I mean, this, RC plane out, then they'd have been quiet and said, "Okay, I'm paying this guy. Let him do this. Let him do what he's supposed to do."
You see what
Yeah.
JD said?
He
said
flies
one guy.
AMA field where the president also flies drones. So I think he just helps them search for the lost planes. So that
Well,
he can,
JD said that one guy told Jason he was too small, so he asked him if he was going to do it.
Yeah,
Jason turned to him and was like, you want to do it then?
yeah, that's what I said. You want to do it? He's like, oh no, 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 no. I'm like, go back and go back to your corner and sit down.
It's like it's one thing if you're trying to help and you're giving your opinion. Or
Right.
you're saying, maybe we should try this, but if you're not even helping, shut the hell
Yeah,
up.
I mean, that's what I say. If you're out there helping, trying to help him, maybe you get a better angle of what he's looking at or something, but they out there just trying to tell him, no, you don't have it right. You should have done I'm like, dude, come on. I said, you gotta do better than this.
I told him what
Joe,
it
I
really,
made you host.
I
I'm
told
gonna
him
cut
what
you
it really was a chainsaw.
All right, Paul.
Just so everybody knows, Joe's the host.
I'm the host. Oh, Lord help me. Watch out, guys.
Host with the most.
To which his reply was he had 4 chainsaws.
Okay.
Take the
I'd
whole
have
damn
told him,
tree
go back
down.
to your gallery, and when you come
Yeah.
back, bring me some peanuts.
Yeah, just cut the tree down.
Just cut the whole damn tree down and smash the plane and everything.
Let me just correct all that. Joe, you're not the host.
Why?
Always.
He
Yeah,
is.
you're co-host, so you're fine.
Co-host.
He just designated you the host, the honorary host. He just didn't give you the power. He didn't trust you.
Yeah,
This is nasty shit.
Yeah, it still says that.
Well, that's the thing too, JD, is like Jason knows we all know Jason knows how to climb trees. Like he actually has tree climbing equipment. That was actually to be funny, it was actually a hobby that he picked up climbing trees. It was like started off as like he said, he was telling me one day it started off kind of as a hobby. And then he started getting calls for people that had shit stuck in trees and stuff like that. And then he started doing
so
that.
he's not a tree trimmer or something by trade or arborist?
Not that I
No.
was aware of. No, I think he just got into it kind of as a hobby from what he was explaining.
Oh, okay.
No, he started out, he just wanted to, he saw an apple and he wanted it and he had to get it.
Yeah.
No, I thought I heard someone said that he was a licensed arborist or something.
Oh yeah, he is. That's right. Yeah, he
Oh,
is.
is he?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
That's why. Because when equipment he broke out, I've seen, like I said, I work in the public works yard and stuff, so I've seen similar type gear, especially that slingshot he put together. I've seen those poles and everything else that tree trimmers use and everything else. He just modified to put that slingshot together. So I'm like, okay, that adds up and everything. But like I said, he's the one that actually would be the expert out there. And here come all these old guys, coming out there and just trying to tell him how to do it.
Dude, I used to when I lived up in San Diego with my cousin, we were doing tree trimming back when we were like 15, 16. And my cousin was normally the one that would climb the trees, but I did it a couple of times with the little spikes that you would wear. So it was like these braces you'd put around your legs.
Right.
And then you would jam it into the side of the tree. Oh yeah, that shit was sketchy as hell. But we used to make good money. Like we used to do one tree every weekend. We would line up a job to do one tree. And between me and him, I mean, that was like $500-600 in one weekend we'd make. And we just split the money. And a lot of the people up there in the mountains in San Diego, they wanted the wood for firewood. So all we had to do is cut it up and chop it up and stack it.
Right. Put in like little 2-foot, length or whatever, so it fit in everybody's fireplace.
Yeah, we would just
good
chop
money.
it into logs. Yeah. For
Yeah,
15, 16 years old, yeah, it was real good money. We
we
were out blowing money left and right on video games, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, we had one division manager had his own little scheme going where the tree crew would go out and chop up trees for whatever reason, and he had them chop it up in firewood size and anything else, and he was selling it through the yard to the public. I'm like, ain't this like he was telling everybody he was selling it to put the money in towards any parties for the yard for holidays, all this kind of stuff. He was pocketing the money the whole time. So that vision blew up
a
in his
portion
face.
of every tree goes to fund a party. A portion. He didn't say what portion.
Yeah. Yeah, well, his
Couple of
intent,
weeks.
I would say announced intent was supposed to be paying for the barbecues for the employees and all that kind of stuff. Because technically, as a public service agency, you're not allowed to make a profit.
Yep. But if you throw something in the trash and come back and get it 10 minutes later, it was trash. You weren't doing, yeah.
Oh, this wasn't trash though. This was he instructed the tree crew to bring the wood back to the yard, cut it up, stack it in cords,
Woo!
and sell it.
Hmm.
I said, no, that doesn't work like that.
Well, he
Come
was,
on, Dre, let me play devil's advocate here.
I know you are.
Jail time.
he was saving the council money by not having to dispose of it and pay
Right,
tips.
right,
Uh-huh.
right. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's go with that ticket.
Yeah.
Called jail time.
Hmm.
Our council shred
Malfeasance in office.
wood chips and then take it round the parks and redo footpaths with it and stuff like that. Because they always bring a big wagon load to our allotments and tip it in one of the bays for the people to use as mulch. Oh, they've had rain in Canada. They squeegee in the greens at the Canadian Open.
Look at this lucky bugger. Rupert Murdoch.
Her first name is Gold. Her second name is Digger.
TC, he's 93. It's all for you yet, Joe.
Oh yeah, looking at that pond there, it is pissing it down in Canada.
I never
Well,
know
in-
when the dog's gonna take their heartworm medicine.
In
Sometimes
the
I
air-
gotta fight them, sometimes they take
The
it.
Open. Don't know where they're playing it.
No, you just had yours. Look, get there.
Oh, God. So,
Yeah, I gotta fight one of them.
a local MP for Derbyshire has produced election material claiming he was Labour, so people would vote for him when he's actually a Conservative. And the police are investigating because it's election fraud.
Oh, looks like they are saving live. I thought Twitch didn't save live streams from what Laura was telling me.
I think they save them for so long.
I was just looking at some channels, cause I just got back on there. And there's some that, some of the channels I was looking at were, they got a bunch of past live streams
It's a
on it.
pill. Come get this pill, come. Yeah. You're gonna eat it today sometime. Yeah.
One of the golfers has hit it into a pile of what looks like cabbage amongst the trees. And so far they've found 5 golf balls and none of them are his. He's only got 5 minutes to look for it, then he has to give up and call it lost.
Can you just pull another one out of his pocket, chuck it down, and go, there it is.
No, because of where it landed, he had to play provisional, which means that if he can't find his first one, he can play the second one. But
And what he's gonna do, he's gonna stand up, he's gonna have one in the pocket with a hole in it, and he's gonna drop out his pants leg.
it counts as play 3 instead of 1.
You should have found the one with the best lie and said, that one's mine. You know,
There it is.
Look at that, I got an only one, actually. I couldn't find
Okay,
it.
so I went on Prism and it does let me do Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook all at once, so I don't know what the limit is on that. But they
no,
allow you to do RTPMs. And they have a bunch of weird ones I've never heard of. In something, Naver Shopping Live,
Oh, yeah, I've seen all these.
Naver TV, Band, Africa, Africa TV, Africa. I
Yeah.
think that's how you pronounce it. Kick, and then
Oh,
they have
listen, oh,
Instagram.
yeah. Wow.
I've never heard of Africa Band, Naver TV. And then one of them I can't pronounce at all. It's like Chizek or something. I've never heard of any of those ones.
Justin, are you tapping into other people's internet again?
It's the list of like apps they like presets ones that you can just log into real quick, so you don't have to do an RTPM. But they got like 4 or 5 of them that I've never heard of. They're just really weird ones.
Well, yeah, he's got to play second ball. I think if you've been looking for it for that long and you've not found it, you don't really want to find it.
Well, and you know what the weird thing is like, you know what's stupid that Facebook did? Is they stopped letting you live stream to Facebook groups and pages. Like you can.
Who stopped that? Prism or what?
No. Facebook did. Like you can live stream to your Facebook, your personal Facebook, but for some reason they removed permissions to be able to live stream to Facebook groups and stuff. It gave me a message last night and told me I couldn't do it to a Facebook group. I was like,
No.
why would you do that? Because
So it's not, you can't live stream to a group you don't control.
no, I tried to hook it to mine and it said I
Oh,
couldn't.
because I just did mine like that the other day.
Maybe
Where
it's
is my
Prism
package, right?
doesn't have a thing with them then for that,
Yeah.
because it said, it told me that it said Facebook's removing permissions for streaming to Facebook groups and
Mhm.
pages or something like that.
Let me
I was
check
like,
real
why
quick
would the
to
hell would they
see
do
if
that?
mine posted.
Yeah, because I was like, why the hell would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Like, that's literally you're telling people to have Facebook groups, but you're telling them they can't live stream to them. I was like, that don't make any damn sense.
Hmm.
Because then people aren't going to want to, that might be a main reason people use it. And then you're
Right.
going to take that away.
It's so true.
They said it was Facebook in the message though that was removing it, so I don't know. Maybe it was
It's
just
getting
their
old,
permissions.
shucks, I forgot my controller.
But it allowed me to connect to my regular Facebook, so I don't
No,
know.
I got it right here. One day ago, I was streamed to Facebook.
Was
and I
it to your
on-
personal account or was it to your
No,
group?
it's a group. Well, it's a sub account of my personal account. That's why I was asking you because
Oh,
I know
it's
on
like
the
the
yellow
business
box.
one you can do, right?
I don't know. I say when the yellow box, because I ask you, you can do YouTube, you can do Facebook, and it'll ask you first. It'll ask you for your, your personal information or whatever information you're using to log in. So if I wanted to log in under the Paul Murray Show, if Paul had a Facebook account, it would stream to that account and go from there. Because it asked me about subs account, which means I'll go into my name and then my business account name. And that's who I sent it to, my business account name.
Yeah, well,
I tried, like I said, I tried to connect to my Facebook group and it gave me, maybe they removed the permissions from them themselves. I don't know.
no, I just gone to my Facebook page to the birds, and when I click go live, it only shows me past live videos. There's no go live anymore.
Yeah, because I can
Maybe they're
even,
slowly removing it from all of them or something, but I just think that's stupid if they are.
yeah, because using the YOLO box, I even see the comments from both YouTube and Facebook.
I said that'd be really stupid if they did that, though. I think,
Yeah,
in my
well,
opinion.
like I said, yeah, that would be stupid because I remember they were one of the last ones or slowest ones that let people live stream beyond that. What was it before? Only you could do like 1 minute or 2 minutes, and they let it go a lot longer now. You can do as long as you want.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm just saying that been years ago because I see now, like when all the other platforms like TikTok and Twitter and whatever else out there, Instagram, they were still stuck on that. You couldn't live stream or whatever videos past a minute or so, and now they're all adjusting their platform
I think that's where it's
formats.
going to force you into Instagram.
Well, Instagram, don't you have to have so many followers where you can even live stream to it?
Yeah, but they might be removing that. There'll be some reason around it. I found some way of making money.
Yeah.
So my question, Paul said he forgot his controller. So
Uh-huh.
did he grab it and run back out there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Lord help me. That's when he gets nervous and we got issues.
Yep. That he gets
Like the
out of
oth-
his discombobulated, and then he'll forget something else or start rushing, and next he'll come back and says, "You know what? I lost another drone."
Well, you
He's
know,
got-
Oh, Lord.
he said the other day he went out flying and he forgot to hit the record button and he decided to go out and try again. And I was like, every time you've done that is when you lost a drone. When you
Mhm.
decided, let me get this one last shot and go out again.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you listen to all 3 of the times he lost drones, that was what he said each time.
Now, does Paul keep his stuff in a case, or does he just
I have no idea.
picks it up and
You
go?
might just,
And that's why I try to keep all my stuff in their own individual cases, and I don't share gear with another drone. Each one of my drones have their own controllers, got their own ND filters,
A
everything.
lot
is
of them he
separate.
just leaves sitting out and then he'll
See,
lay them on, he'll set them out on the table with everything.
Yeah,
And then he can just grab it and go.
and that's the problem. I say
It
instead of him just
depends.
grabbing a case and he knows what's in, each case has what it needs. You have to worry about, did you pick up everything? It's already in the case. 'Cause,
There we
that
go.
could-
Joe's
is he coming
spiking
back?
his sugar again.
you see this? See this there?
Sweet tarts.
You see
Oh,
this,
that's
Justin? This
Smarties.
is Smarties.
So it's more other
the-
you call sweet tarts.
Yeah, they got them like that too. This is just a
Yeah.
different brand. But
Yeah.
yesterday, the pack I bought had 18 of these in it, right? I've
How
got
many are
8
left?
left.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I know. 8, 10 last night.
There you go, guys.
Addictive.
To show you how to get rich very, 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 very
No, he
quickly.
left it at the house, Jonathan.
Right, you ready? How to get quickly.
Win the lottery, rob a bank.
Now, look at this guy doing.
San Diego Padres.
You really have to check behind that.
Yeah.
He took off running.
Yeah.
You better run.
But that's the same thing. Like while I'm out in the field, Justin, that keeps my post work in order. That I got my case there. I know each controller fills a slot, battery fills a slot, because you always have that feeling when you get in the car that I hope I didn't leave something.
Right.
you know, and I say the amount of crap that I put out, you know, with the RTK station, cones a lot of times, all the controllers and all this kind of stuff, you know, you don't want to pull off and then get down the road, or worst case, you leave something on the hood or the rooftop of your vehicle
Yep.
and you take off and it's out in the street and busted up and everything else.
You know what
So
I like
have-
about? Oh, go ahead.
Hey, Dre, I
No.
left one day, I was flying down by Eden Isles. And
Mhm.
I decided to go down to Mississippi, so I drive 35 miles away, hit the Mississippi, and I get out there and I get everything out the car to fly, and I look up, I don't have I don't have a landing pad.
TV upstairs.
You,
I said,
know
you
what I
gotta
like?
be kidding me. So after I
Bring it
shot
down
it, I
with
went all the way
No.
back and found my landing pads in the same place.
You know what I like about
I don't know
Donald's
anything
garage?
that- I was in the bed, I pulled the mattress
All his
out,
cars are
I
small and
was in
petite,
the
no
bed.
overcompensation.
Yeah.
No, the driveway.
Oh, I'm compensating. I'm compensating for my enormous dick.
Yeah, you went there.
I'm the exact opposite of everybody else.
We only ever see sons
That way
and
you,
if
that way
you buggy
people
in the
underestimate him when he gets out
all
of the
out
car.
driveway.
It's that time of the year, guys.
Justin, I know that you were feeding me that because I know I've shown you the bumper sticker on my son's car.
No, I haven't seen that. What does it say?
Here, let me
I don't think I have. I don't remember a bumper
Uh,
sticker.
switch my camera around here.
Yeah, that's funny.
Whoops. I dropped my phone.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. I roll bar.
I'm
compensating
for my
For-
enormous penis.
my enormous penis.
Yeah, I figured that would be your son doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not out there flaunting it with like a big, you know, F-250.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
compensating for a small penis.
You're not out there bragging about it, you know. You
Right. That would be
might get out of the car, make a couple potholes in the road, but
Well,
you know.
if you have the great big vehicle, then you're compensating for a small penis. So the converse must be true. And to drive that little ridiculous looking thing, you gotta be swinging a hammer.
Yeah, so Justin, you weren't on yesterday. Dre wasn't on yesterday either. You still on, Dre?
He sounded like he walked away because he sounded like
Yeah,
he
I'm
was
gonna wait for him
talking.
to come back, because yesterday I got a package in. And I was driving to go fly the drone. I don't even know if Don was there. But got a package in. So I'm driving down the road and I get the package and I stopped at a light and I'm taking the stuff apart. And I'm looking at it and I'm sitting there looking at this thing and I'm up there going like this. I'm going. And I'm looking at this thing like this. And I'm saying, yeah, that might work like that. And I look to the side and they got a woman in the car going next to him.
That
I
might
got this
fit
in
up
my
there.
hand.
It
I was
might
thinking,
fit.
she was thinking, I feel so sorry for that guy. But that's for the
Oh, for the
motion
motion.
controller 3.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. When I looked over, she was gone. And pointing it out to the other girl in the car. I'm just glad it wasn't a couple of the Spinnakers or something like that from Mandeville that saw it. I wasn't even thinking about that. I said, this does look funny.
Maybe a little bit. But my boss is home, so I gotta go.
I'll catch you later.
Don't get the $20.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's gonna make me work for it today. I gotta help her put together something outside.
Have fun.
Sometimes they make you work for it.
She's
So
obviously
it
been
always
out,
comes down to
she's been out buying things for the dick.
that. Yeah, right. Now Lance is not gonna like this You know, he asked me if I liked it. I haven't flown with it yet, but he's not gonna like it because it's slippery.
Oh, look, I see it.
They'll probably get better, but the biggest thing too is you got that hand.
On the bed.
It
On my
makes
side?
it makes it thicker though.
It might get better as you break it in a little bit more and handle it more.
Yeah, what I like about it the most is right here. Wait, let me get to the camera. On the side, that little button right there. I can never find that button because of the way it sits on the side, but they've got an indentation, so I feel the indentation, so I know the button's there. That's to turn it record on or off. But when I take mine off, I let it start recording and worry about it later. I don't stop it. Cause I found it easier, because most of the time I'm doing a one-shot thing anyway for about 3 minutes. So it's gonna be I'm not gonna do nothing but just color grade it a little bit. Cause most of the time everything's right and left. Plus I do, like, sometimes I'll fly and go both ways on a river or something, then I'll split it up a little bit. Cause I'll have a lot of wasted space I don't want in there. But for $10, I think that's a good deal. Cause like I said, it's got a little grip in the front that makes you hold on to it better. But it feels real slippery on the side, but it makes it as thick as the motion controller the 2 that came out. So I think he'll like that part, but he'll probably bitch again about it being slippery, you know. But you know how he loves the Avata too, so he'll be happy with it.
So I heard you had an all-nighter the other day, Justin, you and Tim.
Usually we're usually in the streams usually around like 1:30. I mean, it's late, but no, I don't be going till like 4 or 5 in the morning or not.
Him does.
I mean, there's been a couple times where I woke up at like 4 in the morning because I was wide awake and I got on and Tim was live.
Yeah, I think Tim just be leaving it on while he falls asleep at the keyboard.
You've got to remember, Justin's part-time, Tim's full-time.
What was funny was last night was hilarious. We were playing and Corey's keyboard decided to stop working again, and his character was just running straight through the map. And he wouldn't stop. So I was like trying to chase him down and block him with the car so he wouldn't get killed. And then finally his keyboard kicked in.
Like I was saying, having them wired is the best thing.
Well, that's a laptop he's using. He's using the keyboard on his laptop.
Oh.
For some reason it keeps disconnecting from the game, like it won't allow him to control anything. He thinks there's something. I think it's the game, but he thinks it's something with his laptop because there's been 2 or 3 other people that had keyboard disconnections during the game. It's happened to Jason. It's happened to Michael. It's happened to Kelsey, my daughter. It's happened to Corey a couple times. And then we've also had 3 or 4 people that have had disconnections while they were playing with their Xbox controllers and their PS5 controllers, where they were in the middle of playing, all of a sudden the controls stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I have a feeling that it's something with the game, but Corey thinks that his problem is with his computer, but I don't know.
Do those
But
controllers still run off what, AA batteries, or they have a recharging battery in them now?
Xbox, your standard controller is AA, but you can get battery packs that go in them if you want. My Elite 2, it's all built in. It doesn't have any batteries. It doesn't even have a battery door. It's all built into it.
Oh, okay. That just tells you how long I've been out at gaming console.
But yeah, supposedly Xbox has some kind of deal with Duracell, and that's why they've kept their things with batteries all these years. That's like the going rumor is supposedly they have a deal with them. So I don't know.
Okay, that ship is long gone. Where's Paul?
I've scheduled what? I don't.
Well, let's give him a chance.
Just messaged me and said I had a live schedule. I didn't schedule a live.
Well, the other day he found a Mini 3 Pro case that he's had on a shelf that he'd never used. And I said, "What's the Mini 3 Pro case? Put your Mini 3 Pro in it." He says, "I don't have one." I said, "Yeah, you do." He says, "No, I gave it away."
Okay. I don't
Is that
know
the
why
one
it's-
that somebody sent him?
Yeah,
When he
Yeah,
lost his
he
air
gave it.
tube?
Yeah, he gave it to somebody.
Corey sent it him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave it to somebody, and I sent him a controller when his other controller went down,
Hmm.
and he won't use the controller because he don't like the nits on it.
Right.
You know, but he bought the screen for it. But and then every time he uses the smart controller and he gets to certain areas, he loses connection.
Hmm.
But he wasn't losing connection with the new one.
Yeah.
So it's just set in the ways. That's all.
Hmm. Well, this will put a little reminder for you, Joe, when you want to dump off that Avada one, just send it out west.
I'm about to charge it up and fly it. I had a guy the other day because I'm selling the package, but I'm kind of not really trying to sell it. It's out there, but you know, I'm not. But I kind of want to keep one of them. But then I was trying to sell the extra drone I had with just one battery and all the accessories I had for that one, except for it doesn't have any controllers, so it's just a second drone for somebody. And I got it out there for 500 because if you try to buy it right now, just by itself, it's still 600. You know, so I've had a couple people ask me if it's still available. I had a guy the other day say, "I got 300 cash. I could bring it to you today." I said, "Bring 500 cash. I'll take it." You know,
you thinking the same way I was. So you get 300 cash? Okay, good. You keep that and wait another
save
month
200
or so.
more.
Yeah,
You know, save 200 more.
more.
Oh, he
You know?
wanted the whole Avada setup for that?
So he wanted me
Yeah.
to sell him the one Avada with one battery for $300.
Yeah.
How
I told him,
much
I
is
said,
how much is the drone by itself if you buy it?
$649. You know, so and this one's got the prop guards on it. It's got
Yeah, but
not the
how
prop
much
guards.
is it going? Is that still what the going price now is for it?
Yeah,
Or is
Yeah.
that
it's
what
still
you
going.
paid for it?
Yeah.
That's the going price.
It's just funny. You get a lot of people online or whatever think you're having a fire sale. So,
I thought it was Max for a minute. You know, I thought it was Max trying to buy it.
No, Max would have only offered me $50.
Yeah. But it's got the gimbal guards on it. It's got the dust caps on it. It's got an extra set of two sets of props. It's got something else on it.
You can get an
Dust
open
cap
box for
gimbal.
$435, new 518.
Yeah, but
On
there's not a lot
Amazon.
of people looking at that, you know. So, you know, somebody around here is gonna buy it. If they don't buy it, guess what? I got a Nevada that I can let my son fly and not worry about.
Yeah, the prices are
This-
going to drop on them though the longer you wait.
Yeah, I'm not, it actually won't hurt my feelings not to sell it. That's how I feel. Like I said, it gives me, I'm gonna start flying that one. In fact, if they put the goggles three-way, you could convert back.
Well, if you
I'll
look at
use
the
that.
history of DJI too, this is the first time they've came out with a newer drone that was cheaper than the previous drone.
Oh, yeah, that is the first time.
And
Yeah.
what's surprising is they would have to drop that Avada 1 price down to like 900 in order to compete with the second one. And it's still what, like $2,000? It's more expensive than the second one cost.
Oh, yeah, that
Well,
first one ran me $1,700.
yeah. Well, I just know that DJI drones seem to hold a certain level of value no matter what version of drone it is. I mean, like I say, look at the Phantoms. They still go for anywhere $600 to $1,000, depending on what other extra batteries you get with stuff like that. And I said Avada will hold. I think it'll hold around 500. You know, you still can
Yeah.
get. I mean, Sparks. It took a long time for a Spark that was a $500 drone to start off with to dip down below $200.
Yeah.
You know, that drone is 6-7 years old now. And so I mean, as I say, you look at other people's drones where they just, you know, some drones you can't even sell. Nobody wants to touch them.
Yep.
And so, but the DJI drones seem to continue to hold a little bit of value somewhere.
Yeah, I've got people looking at it. I got it on eBay and I got it a little bit higher because I got free shipping on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I drop that sucker to 500 I got 550 on eBay. If I left it if I dropped it to 500 free shipping, it'd probably sell tomorrow.
Mm.
You know,
Well, try dropping it to 500 and add shipping to it.
yeah, I told them make me an offer. You know, that's what I put on there. Make me an offer. You know, so if somebody offers me 550, I'll take it, you know. Because somebody might come on and say, "Look, I'll offer you 525 for it or something." Yeah, I'll take it.
Send me a link.
But it's like I said, I'm not in a hurry. If it sells, it sells.
Joe, send me
Yeah,
a
so
link.
you can get it cheaper on Amazon, Jonathan. New, it's like $5.29, and you can get a open box one for $4 something,
Yeah.
like
I tried
$4.30 or
to
something.
look on the internet to look for Amazon's open box over there, and there's sod all on it.
Yeah, because we see in the US, we have two sites. We have Amazon and Amazon Warehouse. Amazon Warehouse isn't available in other countries. It's only a US site. Amazon Warehouse separates all the open box stuff on one site, so you don't have to sit there and look for it on the regular site.
We have Amazon Warehouse here. Excuse me.
No, you guys will show the used stuff on the regular Amazon website like ours does, but I think you've looked it up before. You guys don't have the actual Amazon Warehouse site.
No, it's not
The
that.
act- Yeah, see, ours is a whole different site. It's actually two different websites. And the warehouse one takes all the open box stuff and puts it on its own site. So you don't have to screw with it. That way you don't have to sit there and try to like thumb through a bunch of shit on the regular site. It's like Black Friday all the time on there. It's fucking amazing, dude. The prices they have on some stuff on there. A lot of stuff 60, 70% off, a lot of it. It's a good site to hit up. And it's all that, and you get the same warranties you do on any other thing. You can buy warranties on stuff. If it's broken when you receive it, you can return it. You have the same return policy. So why not? It's not like you have to buy the stuff as is because it's open box. They'll still let you return it with the same policy. I found the same monitor that Jason paid $1,000 for when we were looking around on there the other day. It was like $629 for that 49-inch. They got an open box for $649 on there.
Well, his.
Not the new one he got, but the one he had previous, the 49-inch. He's got like the 56-inch.
That's what he's got now.
Yeah.
That
But you
was
can
it.
return the 49, but you can get the 49-inch Samsung Odyssey 9 on that Amazon Warehouse for like $640 something.
So
That's
my
some-
question, the question I have to ask, what's the big, other than the length or the cross length as you measure TVs from one corner to the other,
Diagonal.
is diagonal. Thank you. Diagonal length. Is he getting the picture size that he thinks he's going to get?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
That's the question, because I don't understand why you go from 49 to 56 and you think you're going to get a big difference. And what it really goes back is to your video card, your GPU, what it supports.
He's got like a 3080, so it should
Yeah,
be
30,
fine on
but
that.
like I say, it's about how they fill the screen. Okay, there's a guy using the comparison of my projector in the backyard. I have a 180-inch screen back there, but when I show a movie, it only goes almost right across the dead center of the screen. It doesn't go to the far corners because that's not the format of the movie.
Right. Well, see, he doesn't use it. So he doesn't use it to play the whole game. Like he doesn't have the game on the whole screen. What he does is he uses this program. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay, so he subdivides
He splits what
right.
it does is it makes the screen into 3 virtual separate screens.
Oh, okay.
So he puts the game in the middle. He has his Prism on one side and then his YouTube on the other side.
Okay. Okay.
And then that's how he does it. So it stays within that 16:9 like frame rate.
Right.
Because Fortnite won't allow you to go higher than 16:9. So
Mhm.
if you
Which
can
is
do it on the
standard.
whole screen, but it stretches it out.
Right, it is stretching and the things will be distorted.
Well,
in
it does
some
look
area.
good when it's out like that, but the problem
Mhm.
is it's his recording software and everything. It looks really bad when it records it because it's
Mhm.
trying to record that whole screen.
Right.
It's not designed for that, so it looks like
Mhm.
shit. So, but he doesn't like playing at the full length of the screen anyway because he likes to see all the information right in front of him. So it
Yeah.
works great for that because, like I said, it's like having three monitors in one. It's almost like having probably three 27-inch monitors.
Mhm.
Break it down, maybe 32, somewhere in there. It's like
Yeah,
having
Yeah.
three of them in one.
Normal TV, the diagonal is based on a 4:3 format,
Right.
and the diagonal would be 5.
Mhm.
well, Justin, let Jason know for me. I've got a 34-inch monitor, and I'm more than happy to swap. But
That's what Tim just got. I think his was 36-inch. The one he got.
mine's a-
32 or 36, somewhere in there.
we've got a
Mm.
Samsung 34-inch.
Well,
you go, Dre.
I hope he enjoys it. What you got, Joe?
They got a guy selling an Avada 2. It says, oh, it's Avada, never mind. It is Avada. It's an Avada set up in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Mhm.
Got the goggles, 3 batteries, motion controller, $700
Okay, he's in Mississippi.
in Mississippi.
I'll trade him 5 cases of water for it.
There you go. Yeah, that probably worked. One case. What
Like
they
I
got
said,
down
they need water over there.
there.
And
Yeah.
an
They've
umbrella.
got Marketplace got a bunch of Avada 2s on there already.
Mm.
Dre, tell him you'll throw in an umbrella.
No. Well, Mississippi, certain cities in the state have contaminated water because they never kept up with their water treatment systems. So
Yeah.
now a lot of them are failing. So I can say water is like on a level of gold in certain parts of Mississippi.
Yeah, we've got them issues over here.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid going down to Bay St. Louis and going to get water out of a water fountain. It smelled like rotten eggs.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
water coming out my tap smells like burnt plastic sometimes.
Wow.
I'm sure it's because they've been doing repairs on the pipelines and they've been plastic welding the pipe.
They're
That's not
supposed
good.
when they're supposed to do that, they're supposed to tell you to run the tap for
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah,
I'm
keep-
just saying when your water has an odor, you know it's bad. You know,
They're
usually you'll get a
come
taste.
round- they're supposed to come round and actually run water through at the stop tap at the end of the line. Unfortunately, with us being on an avenue, the end of the line is down at the beginning of the avenue, and the feed coming up the road hasn't got a stop tap at the end of it. So all that stays full of that water. But I've actually had the water board come in and take samples and take them away and test them when it's doing
Right.
it. Even the woman that came to take the samples said, God, that does smell bad, doesn't it? I says, yeah, well, it doesn't actually give you much confidence to cook food in it.
Yeah. I
I'll
know
make
when we have earthquakes out here, sometimes you'll get a boil water requirement or warning to boil your water before you use it.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with the water. It just got a smell in it.
Well, that's something wrong. Water don't have no odor. That's wrong.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I
And
know it's not supposed to have it.
and it's not supposed to have a flavor either, especially
No,
a
it's
metallic
not.
taste or a plastic taste or anything else.
I know
You
it's
got an issue there.
supposed to have an odor, but if they've been plastic welding the pipes, it will get that smell to it.
Yeah. Well, like I say, there's working in the industry. You can always do a bypass on where you're working on the pipe at, where they cut it up above the problem area, run a temporary line above ground, and cut below the problem area, and you attach it there while you're working on a part that needs to be done. That way you don't fully disrupt service. So when you fix that one section, you got to put it all back together. So you alleviate that type of occurrence where you have abundance of extra chemicals, and definitely you don't want no smell.
What's up, Tim?
Yeah, but it's picking it up from the actual weld that they've done on the
Yeah,
pipeline.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why you're able to mitigate the smells or anything else is by you clean the pipe out, you know, and that was part of the things I used to inspect. What we call it a pipe hunter or actual what was it? It was Eversight was the name of the company that I used a rover, which I would inspect the pipes with. Over
Yeah.
almost 15 years ago, I'd check the pipes and stuff. And I used to take everything from sewer pipes and storm drains. Didn't do too many water lines, because water lines are usually no more than 3 inches. But anything above 4 inches, I used to go in and check and stuff.
Yeah.
But I know how that process works, where they would cut above the issue, below it, you would do a bypass, fix it, and then you connect everything back together and make sure it's cleaned out so the customers don't have that issue to deal with. I mean,
Donald
that's
just
just,
sent me and Tim.
yeah, these nuts, pickled dill flavor, man.
Donald just sent that to me.
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking nuts are already salty. Now you're gonna add a little pickle flavor to it.
The public health part of my civils course included sewage, drainage, and water supply, water treatment.
Uh-huh. So I'm just saying that there's ways to try to mitigate that does not impact the customers to that extent. Like I said, that just ruins the public trust. I mean, you can smell the water.
Yeah.
That's just like, man. And then when, once that smell gets into your memory bank, now you're
They
always suspect that the water's always got a smell.
They do add fluoride to our water supply as well, though.
That's why when I go out to restaurants, I never drink the water. Never drink the water they bring to the table.
And we don't drink the water if we go out of the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, never.
Certainly not in the Philippines. Anyway, that was a don't drink the water out of a tap.
Yeah,
there.
that's always. There you go.
I'll tell you what, Dre, growing up in California in the desert though, and my dad had the well at his house. Dude, I'll tell you, that water tasted like better than bottled water. It was so fresh, and it'd come out of the ground cold because his well was like 250 feet deep.
Yeah.
And it would come out ice cold, and it was just so good tasting. Like,
It's had, like I said, it just had that wet, refreshed taste. It didn't have like a flavor.
Yeah.
When your water has a flavor, then you know you got problems. Real problems.
It's like city water. Yeah, city water is disgusting. Ugh.
Yeah.
It usually tastes chemically because obviously they treat it.
Yeah, and like even last night, my wife and I, went out to dinner and went to a comedy show, and the girl came to the table and they had this water in a bottle. She popped the cork and poured in our glass, and I still say I ain't touching that stuff because I don't know how you got where the water that was in the bottle came from.
Yeah,
as far as I know, you guys are hooking it from the tap in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
in the Philippines, they have two different types of bottled water. They have a different colored lid. The blue lid is proper bottled filtered water, whereas the green lid is just water from a tap.
Wow.
And I wouldn't trust that the other bottle was even correct. Ugh.
See, Dre said they went out to a comedy club last night. They actually went in the living room and watched Art Show.
Did he end up going live last night?
Yeah, something happened to that. I don't understand. Because at 7 o'clock he was going live and it wasn't popping up. I wasn't getting it to pop up. So I kept checking and checking and checking. I said, I know he said he was going live. So he had sent me a link to the stream. So I clicked on it and it pops up and it says been on 47 minutes. So I refresh everything and it won't pop up. I could
Wow.
not get it to pop up on YouTube for anything, but I could go to it on both computers with the link, but I couldn't pick it. If I took it off,
Yeah.
say I got out of it and I refreshed it, it didn't show. It didn't show. It showed this morning, that it was on last night, but it wouldn't pop up for some reason. Had to be a
Mm.
setting he had.
Yeah, at Uncle Bill.
Yeah,
Don't-
I went on it last night just to
Even-
listen for a while.
Yeah. Even TJ came on towards the end as well.
Yeah,
On art stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
he was on for a couple of hours.
Oh, wow. I guess he had a good time in the Philippines, huh?
Yeah, we found out he went to the Philippines.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he been announcing that for the last 6 months. I
Yeah.
think he was collecting funds to pay for the trip.
It kind
he-
of it's so that he was a bit probably pissed off about it because he started talking about it and then he got shouted down. So there was only about 10 minutes of him talking about the Philippines, and then the rest of it was just a normal squirrel.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Mind you, he did give away a Philippine keyring and a model car
Ooh.
of a jeepney.
yeah. And then talked about the smartwatch he bought when he was over there and everything.
Oh
else.
yeah,
Apple Watch.
which was a Huawei, which of course had been banned in the States.
Yeah, can't buy it here. Now, this is if I got the story correct, his former girlfriend or former fiance. Now,
Yep.
this new one, this is her cousin or sister.
Something like-
Something like that.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
I think
They're
they
taking
are
turns.
some way. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking they're taking turns milking his money or something. I'm like, what's up? You don't
It's,
you don't think they've been talking all this time?
Yeah, I don't-
Tell me about it.
I don't like the situation, to be honest with you, but
Yeah.
Well, I guess, every man needs what he needs.
Anyone else?
Why do you think there's so many American
It's
dudes
weird
moving
that
over there? I mean,
pretty
come
much-
on now, do the math.
pretty much
That's what I
every
need.
that Art puts on Facebook of him in the Philippines is on them two ancient wooden crutches.
Like I said, why do you think so many American guys move over there? Right? Because of the scenery.
Yeah.
Well, it's such an economic boost to their retirement plan, Justin.
Oh yeah.
Living
Oh yeah,
It's just that you've got to pay for the whole of her family.
Yeah, I know. That's the part that most of them don't figure out till they get there.
Mm,
Yep.
Either you're paying for them or they're moving in with you, which means the
Yeah.
same thing. You're still paying for
Yep.
them. And I'm sure Joe has probably heard so many stories where the guys
Well,
in the military who were there when the Super Bay was open, they married with them girls, man, bring them back stateside. These guys get deployed somewhere, come home, house be empty, bank accounts
Yeah.
cleaned out.
Yeah. When I was in Okinawa, Mama-san used to come up and take care of all my clothes and everything. She says, "I like you. You're a really nice guy. You need to meet my daughter. Maybe you marry her." Like that. And I said, "I don't want to meet your daughter." So she showed me this picture, and this girl was beautiful, right? She says, "Come on out. I feed you tonight. Come meet her. And if you don't want to marry her, don't like her, just okay. But come meet her at least." So I decided. I finally broke down after about 6 months. I said, "Okay, I'm gonna come out. What you gonna feed me?" Like that. And she told me all the food they were gonna have, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna come out tomorrow night." So I went out. Got there. The daughter came in. She looked very beautiful, right? And she goes, "Oh no, it's not that daughter. It's this daughter." And got me the other one. And the other one was older and looked about half as nice. I looked at her. I said, "Man," I said, "what are you doing flipping pictures with me?" Like that. I didn't eat. I got up and I said, "I'm not only leaving, but you fired." You know? fired, you know, I'm gonna fire you. You're not doing my clothes no more. Well, but
Uh-oh,
the
Joe,
oldest one
so-
gotta go first. The oldest one first.
Oh, yeah, that's customary in a lot of
You
places.
know, I
Gotta-
said, but you
gotta
showed me
vary a
the
lot.
other one's picture. You
Yeah.
bait and switch me.
Joe, somebody's selling your stuff, man. You see that?
Nah. Where?
Hold on. Ah, I guess if I turn on my video, it might work.
Oh, they can sell it. Ain't mine.
Yeah,
I
this
stole it
has
from
got-
somebody else.
Okay. Yeah,
No, I got it off of one of the printable sites.
okay.
Here he is.
I got a new one right now to go on top of my Avata too, a little Pelican.
Oh, okay, okay. Somebody said Paul just walked past the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I figured this would look a lot better on the drone when I fly past kids and not that, you know.
Mhm.
While, so I'll bet you any money he's got a box of Boston creams.
Oh no, I didn't look so happy.
Well, hopefully he's got Boston creams and he's happy. But it was 2 ships that went by, so it was a twofer.
Well, it would have been a twofer had I taken my controller with me.
Oh, you missed the first one.
Yep. But
And
I
Dre,
got
I
the
printed
second, I
one for
got the
Laura.
second.
Paul, as long as your drone made it back safely, that's all that matters. Missing a ship is your least of your worries.
Yep. Hey Dre,
'Cause it
I
could have
printed
been
this for
worse.
Laura.
Yeah, and it'll be back, so
Yeah, I saw you showed it. What is that?
It's a little llama, flip it off.
Oh, okay. Okay.
you sent it to Laura, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess David to get the new communication skill set when that shows up at the house. She'll just slide that in front of David and says, without saying a word.
No, I sent it to him for him to print it. I don't want him nothing to do with it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you was sending her the actual figurine. I like, okay, I can see what's gonna happen there.
Now, I made it to where the arm comes off the leg. Before I had the arm coming off the middle and it kind of didn't look right.
Uh-huh.
So I moved it over a little.
Okay. Well, now that you're sending a file to David, David's probably gonna do a quick job and do the same thing to her.
Oh, I haven't got the file. It's sent to Laura.
Laura's got the file. I sent it to her.
Oh,
And you got to use support on it. But if you use the support, just change that threshold to like 5%, and it gives you enough to do it, and then you don't have it all over the place.
Aubrey. Where is she? Kelsey.
So now when Laura
Thomas.
comes on and says, "Shut up, Joe," I can go.
mm-hmm.
Keeping it right next to the golden finger for Justin.
Oh, boy.
Well, she's got to feel good you did that just for her too.
I know. I made it especially.
Special
Especially
for
for
her.
her. It took a lot of thought and planning.
Yeah.
You want to see what me and Laura have got planned for you guys?
I
Yeah.
don't think we want to know.
You're all getting a personalized keyring.
Okay.
He's not. They won't be back. Well, not for sure.
Well, Mr. Murray, how was your excursion? I think you're on mute.
Well, no, the excursion went fine. There was a diver out there, and I was telling him about where I'd lost my drone a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
He says,
Yeah.
well, as light as that is,
West out there,
as light as that is, he says it could be down to St. Clair by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bobbling along.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all of our concerns, as long as you made it back safely and the drone made it back safely.
Yeah, well, did you hear? Joe talked me into buying another Air 2S, so I've got
Yeah,
a spare now.
Go back and look at that clip.
Yep. Yeah,
I thought- I
I tell
thought-
you what, I was hesitant, but Joe says do it, just do it.
Did the Boston cream?
He missed the just don't do it.
He missed that
He
one
missed the-
part, don't, huh?
The two words, don't, I said, don't
Yeah.
do it. And
He
he
said,
heard
do it, do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right, David?
I didn't hear nothing.
No.
I know nothing.
No, nothing.
Nothing at all.
I know nothing.
And I'm staying that way.
Mm.
Apparently Aubrey went down to some birthday party and they got a big old water slide down the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You
it's a
can't go,
huge ass.
you won't fit on it.
No, this water slide's twice as tall as a house.
It's still,
This
you can't,
massive
you
ass.
jump on that thing and it'll pop.
It'll pop?
Yeah, all that weight hits that thing.
Really? You think so?
Go on down and enjoy yourself.
I don't think think
this
Justin
thing isn't
weighs
a-
as much as everybody thinks he does. Yeah, what do you weigh, Justin? About 250, 260?
Around there.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what I
also
expect.
tall too.
What, 250? What's that?
Not like 4'2" like Joe, you know.
I only weigh 200 pounds.
What's 250 in stone, Mark?
Well, 280 would be 20 stone.
We got that, mate.
Here we go with the stone shit again.
Oh, 250 is about 18 stone.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I like the
Damn.
Narnia measurements better. 18 stones.
Yeah, it's worse when you get to the doctors and they start saying we've had to stop weighing you in stones. We're weighing you in boulders now.
They do it in bloody kilograms in the doctors and really confuse you. Then you've got to multiply it by 2.2 to get pounds and then divide it by 14 to get stones.
What? Oh, right. Right. What's we doing?
Shoot, I'm gonna have to take me a trip to Kentucky.
It's like going from meters per second to miles per hour. You multiply that by 2.2 as well.
But I know what the tongue is.
Okay, here's the ship I just got. Here's the raw footage.
It's really cloudy out there.
Yeah, it is.
Laura's not happy with me.
When is she happy with you?
Oh, I emptied out the cereal cupboard because I needed more space for filaments.
When you say emptied it out, you mean you ate it all?
Kind of. There's a couple of boxes left.
So what's new with Dre going on?
What's that again, Paul?
I say, what's new with you?
Well, I say I had 3 jobs I did yesterday.
Good.
Got those knocked out once the sun came out. So that took up most of my day while I was gone. Part of my survey gear showed up, which was I just ordered it yesterday. I mean, the day before Friday, and most of it showed up yesterday, UPS. So I'm
Wow.
just waiting for the tripod to come on Monday. And I'll do a little, I guess, unboxing of that.
So what have
And,
you got? Is it a dumpy or is it a laser?
It's GPS, GNSS system by Emilit. I have the main base station is going to be a Emilit Reach 2 Plus, and then it comes with a also bought the new rover they made last year as a rover to it, so I'll be able to go out and set the ground control points on
All right,
site.
Paul, I gotta jump off. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay, hey, Justin, thanks for helping. Thanks for helping Joe.
Yeah.
Always, I'm always there to help the needy.
So I take it you've got a surveying qualification, because you can't actually do land surveying over there unless you're a qualified surveyor, can you?
That is correct. I'll be working under a licensed registered surveyor.
Right.
So just like with our Part 107 status here, someone can fly under you, but you have to
Yeah.
be present. With the surveyor thing, I'm not going to be attesting to the accuracy. That will be up to the surveyor, but I can go out and do the legwork.
Right.
So that's what I'll be doing, hopefully.
Makes you like a subcontractor.
In a way, yeah. So, like I said, according to this company who I've been working with for the last 4 years, who offered me this opportunity, along with a couple other folks, said
Mhm.
we'll do at least a minimum of 2 jobs a month, maybe more. So that could, be a nice little boost to my bottom line.
Yeah. 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 A lot of my work when I was working was involved surveying for either road lines or sewer lines.
Yeah. And that's what I tell a lot of people when I showed them a lot of the short videos I do, is from my experience coming up in the construction industry. I tell folks when I first got started, 20 plus years ago, I used to work with the grade checker if I wasn't with the paving crew. So I learned everything from the grade checker as far as what monument points are, reference points, all this kind of stuff. So any job I go out to, I'm able to find those monument points or know what a reference point is to set my base station on. And I kept seeing all these guys, you go on YouTube and you see a lot of guys talk about, RTK systems and all this kind of stuff, and they just jump out the vehicle, set it up. And that could be just for YouTube purposes or whatever. They take off flying. But very few of them talk about where you should be putting this base station at for more accuracy. Because the base station will create its own point itself, but then Mark, if you don't correlate it with the existing points, you have a large amount of error.
Yeah.
So if you set your base station on top of a known reference point or the actual monument point, then that minimizes that part of it in your final product. So like I say, when you turn over this product over to their engineers or their surveyors, whatever, it's less of an effort on the software when it puts the whole thing together. There's not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of error correction when you put the whole ortho mosaic together.
Yeah. Just find yourself your nearest benchmark and then set up a benchmark wherever you need it, and then go back to it and know exactly what it is.
Right. And that's why I say each month, a lot of these sites I go to, I go out each month. So it's, progressive monitoring. So basically I always try to make sure I go back to the same exact point each month. Unlike this last job, one of these jobs I did yesterday, they're paving new streets in there. They're developing new streets. So some of my benchmarks get demolished,
Yeah.
so I got to find a new one and stuff, but it's still a reference point that I can fly off of. So. Three plus sats. Well, Cool Cat, you're supposed to be able to get under 1 centimeter error rate, which is acceptable for surveyor work. Okay, but you're talking about sats. This when I fly RTK stuff, we're talking about an extra 10 to 15, sometimes 20 satellites to get brought in. And that's how you get better accuracy because, like I said, all of our drones use GPS. A RTK system is like GPS on steroids. Is all it is. It's just bringing in more satellites to boost that GPS system, which means the triangulation is going to be more accurate.
Yeah, it stands for real-time kinetics.
Right.
And
That is what real-time connected.
Use the word kinetics when that is a measurement of energy.
Right. It's weird. When I first saw the meaning of it, I'm like, okay, I'm not a scientist, but kinetics is talking about energy. Last I heard, and they reference it in
it's
GPS.
the amount of energy it takes to get from one level to another.
Right. So what actually happens is, okay, your base station is collecting data from these satellites. If I'm out there measuring or actually setting GPCs, it's getting correction data from the base station. So when I put that rover on the spot where I want to set the GCP at, I'm getting that 12-digit 12-digit GPS location. So the information stays consistent. That's the whole thing. When you're using GCPs, RTK, even if you're doing post-production, which is PPK, it's all about consistency. Everything needs to be consistent. And that's why I tell people RTK is very accurate by itself. Having GCPs involved with it is like a redundancy of it. And the same thing as doing PPK. Yes, Cool Cat, more sats equals more accuracy.
Yeah.
That's the whole name of the game. The more satellites you use, you have at your disposal, the more accurate your points are going to be. So I say a lot of people have that argument for us, as long as I got GCPs, I'll be fine. Yes, you can have GCPs and get a very good map at survey grade level. But like I said, you can get more accurate when you use you use RTK.
The more reference points you can use, the better the triangulation.
There you go. That is it. That is the textbook answer right there. And then, like I say, you also have things called checkpoints, which are just alignment aids for your map. So all this stuff can come into play, like I said, to make your map even more accurate. So you'll set anywhere. It used to be you had to have a minimum of 3 GPCs to start off with. Now they recommend 5. And usually the ratio is you need 1, I think it's 1 per 5 or 10 acres and stuff. Like I said, if you're only flying it, like the other day, yesterday, I had one site I went to was only 7 acres, but they still had, I think they had at least 5 or 6 GCPs. So like I said, they want to be accurate too. So it gets to a certain point that you can't have too many GCPs, but you want to have at least the minimum to have accuracy of your location. So now they talk about 5 being the minimum, and they can go up to as large as 20 on a large site. So the jobs I did yesterday, I had one in Redlands, California. I think that one was about 170 acres of land there. The next site was like 75 acres, and the last one was 7 acres. So. Yeah, like I said, those are, I consider those small sites. Most of those sites, one battery. And I say I flew them all with the Phantom for RTK because the second site, which is located in Ontario, California, has a tricky airspace. And this is one of those weird things with drones, whatever it is. The Phantom 4 RTK accepts the authorization, no problem. My Mavic 2 Pro that I use to take the 360 panels, no problem. But the Mavic 3 Enterprise would not take the authorization using I should say this, using the Pilot 2 app. I can fly the drone manually and the authorization works. Because the regular flight height there is only 197 feet, and I need to fly at 400.
Now,
And
do
it's the
you
weirdest-
use your Phantom RTK at all anymore?
Yeah, like I said, I'm just saying how I use it on these two sites in Ontario, California, because they're less than a mile apart from each other, two different housing tracts. And because of that tricky airspace, the Phantom 4 RTK works flawlessly, Paul. The Mavic 3 Enterprise will not
Won't
take
off?
Well, it'll take off, but it'll stop at 197, which is the designated, limit for that area. And I'm like, the same authorization that I use for the Phantom, I use for the Mavic 2 Pro, I've used for regular version 1 Phantoms, all work flawlessly. Go to 400 feet, doesn't blink an eye. But those Mavic 3s using that Pilot 2 app, it doesn't want to do it. And I don't want to get it. And I flew it manually just to make sure it wasn't the drone itself. Same authorization, fire it up manually, lift it up, flies no problem, 400 feet manually. But the Pilot 2 app will not accept the authorization. And I've called DJI several times. They can't explain it. It's just like, it could say something's wrong with the authorization. Nothing's wrong with it when it works for the drones. Same authorization. Works for the drones. And like I say, I have two Mavic 3 Enterprises. So it's not just the one drone. The same thing happened with both drones, everything. I'm like, this is something in your Pilot 2 app software.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Cool Cat. Yeah. Once you look up RTK, then you'll understand the video I just did about the MLED equipment I just received yesterday.
I bet that cost you a pretty penny as well.
Yes, it did. I told the girl when I called because I got a quote for them early in the week, and she said the price, and I said, "Ooh, it hurts so much when you say it out loud."
It's less if you say it quickly.
Yeah. I said, if you just would have said, just give me your credit card number, Mr. Crawford, would just, don't say anything about the actual cost.
Yeah.
I mean, she about fell out laughing. I said, "Well, that hurts when you say it out loud." But this is a good opportunity for me to expand. You're broken up, Mark. Go ahead.
I said you can claim some of it back on tax, can't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You get a certain amount back on tax, and it helps. My household stay a little more balanced. Because other than that, we pay a little bit of pretty good amount of money each year.
Yeah, put so much of it towards depreciation.
Yeah, and stuff. So even my tax guy was saying this last year, said, "Mr. Crawford, eventually you're gonna have to claim a profit at some point." I said, but the industry, but I said the industry keeps changing so fast. I got to keep up.
Yeah. Yeah. All my profit goes on buying new stuff.
Yeah, I said between maintenance, buying batteries, and all this kind of stuff and everything, I say, hey, I'm spending money just to keep what I got.
Yeah, that's all your profit is just in inventory. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I tell people. I said, don't be in a hurry to reward yourself when you start making a little bit of money. I said, most of that money needs to go right back into the business of maintaining what you have. And that means even buying, better equipment, newer equipment and everything else.
Upgrading, yep.
And buying a more reliable
What was your
vehicle,
right this morning? Alexa?
Mm-hmm.
ooh,
Yeah.
Aston Martin or a Bentley to carry yourself to the site with. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why,
And of course, because it's all construction, you've got to
Mhm.
get yourself to 4x4 Bentley. Yeah.
well, yeah, like I said, that's what I was saying been saying for the last year that I need to find me a SUV. I mean, a truck would suffice, but then I would need at least a extended cab or a king cab truck. Cause I just don't want to have anything in the back of the bed and stuff unless I get that customized also. But an SUV would be perfect. That way the back hatch area, just like Paul, he throws that hatch up and he can sit on the lip of the
Yep.
back of his and it acts as a sunshade and a little protection and everything else. And plus you still got all the room for your
Problem
gear
with
in the back
the
also.
SUV was that the door opened sideways and not upwards.
Well, and it also protects your gear from the weather.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just, and then you can get, like I say, I already have a portable charger. You can keep that stuff out there, you can get that customized to fit in, or they have somebody, make your port to keep that charged up, to charge up your batteries and all that kind of good stuff. So a SUV is the ideal situation because like I say, I'm not using to carry anybody around. So that back seat or those, first level seats there in the rear, they'll stay folded down. So that gives me the amount of space to carry all of this, RTK gear, this survey gear. It gives me the extended range to put all that stuff in there.
Right. Yeah, the vehicle you drive is very important
Mm-hmm.
because you're not flying to the site.
Right. Right. You don't want to have to fly too far away. And that's why sometimes now I have to turn down certain jobs out in the sticks because I don't have a vehicle that goes out that way.
Right.
I tell them, I say, this is what I drive right now. And I'm not going to be driving my Jag out there in the boonies or up in the mountains on these dirt trails and so forth. It's just not smart.
Not very doable.
Nope, not at all.
Incidentally.
Hey, guys, what do you think?
Well, as always, Paul, it's your call.
You
Yeah.
been pretty much talked out, are you?
Yeah, Joe's totally silent.
Yep.
Look like you're getting a little sleepy. Need a little nap.
A little nappy,
Yeah.
He's gonna get some of them donuts. That's what he's gonna get.
little nappy time. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll be on again later today at 5:00 p.m. Eastern time. And
Later,
come in and make sure Joe is behaving himself.
Mhm.
If you want,
All right.
Mark,
Well-
thanks for being here. Dre, always welcome. You're always welcome, my friend. And David,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't be too tough on Laura, okay?
Yeah, I'm the least of your worries.
Anybody
Don't worry
wants?
about Justin.
What do you want? What, David, go ahead.
Right.
David,
See you later, Paul.
Laura's live.
go ahead, David.
Laura's live in an hour. If you want any of you.
Laura's live in an hour. Okay, go check out Little Llama Laura. Bye for now, everybody.
See y'all.
Later.